And every rally's full. You don't have any seats that are empty. You don't have anything. I mean, the one we had today, you missed a beauty. We could have filled that place up 20 times. I mean, that was beautiful. And the Virginia rally, did you hear about the Virginia rally? That was, Glenn Youngkin did a great job, the governor of Virginia, and they had a crowd there that was incredible. And then we came here, and we don't want to be late, but it's very hard when you do these things. It's very hard, and you don't mind a little bit. We weren't very late. We weren't very late, just a few minutes. Just a few minutes, depending on your definition of when it's going to start. But, you know, we've been doing, I was talking to some of the people. It's sort of, you know, in a way it's sad, and in a way it's beautiful. I was talking to them, and I said, you know, this is coming to an end. These rallies are coming to an end. We've been doing them, think of it, for like 9 years. We started a year before, and we've had tremendous success. In 2016, we did phenomenally, right? We went in, they said, they gave us a 3% chance, and sort of like amazing, right? 3%. That means 97% for crooked Hillary and 3% for me. And I was saying, well, I went to Iowa and I had 48,000 people, and she had about 300 people. And then we went to another one in another state. We had 49,000 people. She had 243 people. And I kept saying, why are we going to lose? Why? Why are we going to lose? And we didn't lose, you know. We ended up winning, and we ended up winning the presidency, right? And that was an exciting night. Remember how it started? It started with a bunch of fake news. Look, there they are. That's a lot of fake news. That's a hell of a lot of fake news. The fakers, I call them now. I'm sort of lightening up. I'm starting to like them, too.
I'm starting to like them, too. I don't know what it would be
like to get good publicity. I really don't. They treat me so badly. They are the worst. And yet it works. You know, it could be they treat me good and nobody would come. I don't know. There's something screwy here. But, no, they treat us terribly. But I don't care because we keep winning. As long as we keep winning, we don't care. But so what's been amazing is that we've just had this success. But if you remember in 2016, so I started off at 3%. I never even heard of this before, but I guess you know it more as a candidate. But I was given a 3% chance of beating crooked Hillary. And I understand that because, you know, she was a Secretary of State, and she was married to the President of the United States. And she was a smart and is a smart woman. She lies like hell, but not as bad as Kamala. And, I mean, she's much smarter than Kamala, but she doesn't lie as much. Hillary is a liar, a real liar, but Kamala is crazy. Kamala actually said, he is not going to frack. He is not going to drill for oil. He's not going to drill. I've been saying drill all my life. I'm saying we're going to drill. He is not in favor of IVF, fertilization. I am. I'm like the father. I consider myself to be the father of fertilization, remember? we got the bad, they got a ruling from an Alabama judge, very conservative judge, probably a good judge, but he gave a very strong ruling. And Katie Britt, the senator from Alabama, called up, sir, you have to help us, you have to help us. I said, explain. She said about what happened with the IVF. The judge said close all the clinics all over Alabama. And she said, everyone is furious. I said, explain it to me. And when she explained it, it took me about 2 minutes to figure it out. And I came out with a very strong statement, totally in favor. We want to help women, and totally in favor. And now, and it worked. And they passed, by the way, they met, the Alabama legislature met the following day and approved everything. I mean, it was amazing, really, when you think. And then, think of it. And so it was 100%. And she said, I'm against IVF. This woman, I've never seen anything like it. 2025, Project 2025. I've never read it. I don't want to read it because that way I can be honest with you. I don't want to read it. Some people got together. I assume they're extremely conservative, and that's okay. Then they came up with a plan, but I told them I don't know about the plan. They had a couple of people that worked for me in the administration, I guess, or something, but they came up with some kind of a plan, and it's on the conservative side, I assume. And they keep talking about Project 2025. And I said, I don't know about it. I don't. Everything she says is a lie. It's the most incredible. I can go point after point, when in fact she's changed 15 policy positions, the most in the history of presidential politics. She wants to take away your guns. She said, no, I'd love you to keep them. I'd love you to keep them. Would anybody like to give up their gun to Kamala right there? No, everything she's changed. There will be no fracking. In my life, I will never approve fracking. I will never approve drilling for oil. Isn't it terrible? This is her.
He's hilarious.
And then what does she do? She says, I like fracking very much because she was getting creamed in the polls. Anyway, she changed 15 policies. There's never been anything like it. And I will tell you, we're winning by so much because people aren't going to take that. They know where it's coming from. They used to write nothing about me now. But all of the problems that she's caused tremendous problems for our country. And if you've seen the new numbers that just came out, they are atrocious. This is like we're in a depression.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about it.
Sure.
But every problem facing us can be solved. But now the fate of our nation is really in your hands. This is a very important state, and we have to get this solved. We have to get you
set
out.
up?
We're winning by a lot, but you know, you can lose by a little. You know, when you're winning by a lot, you can still lose by a little, and we can't take a chance of losing the great state of North Carolina. We're not going to lose the great state of North Carolina. On Tuesday, you have to stand up and you have to tell Kamala that you've had enough, that you can't take it anymore, that she was the worst vice president in the history of our country, that she works for the worst president in history, okay? He makes Jimmy Carter look great. Jimmy Carter's the happiest man. He just turned 100. And he can now go down as a brilliant president by comparison to this.
Send me a picture of everything.
Well, he didn't let 21 million people come into our country from jails, prisons, and everything
else.
Right?
Dude, that was so
but
funny.
You can just now say,
that shit was hilarious.
You don't get any worse than you, Kamala. I can't stand you, Kamala. Kamala, you're fired. Get out. Out. Get out. Can't stand you, Kamala. Get out. You've destroyed our country. I want to send our prayers to everyone here in North Carolina who is still recovering from Hurricane Helene. It was a bad one. It was a bad one. I was there. I saw the devastation. I was there long before Kamala. Long before. They're still not seeing Kamala. They're not seeing federal government, that I can tell you. The job they've done is terrible. But, you know, they've spent all the money on illegal aliens coming into our country. True. As you know firsthand, Kamala's hurricane response was a disgrace and a betrayal of her duty as vice president or whatever the hell she is. Nobody even knows anymore. Where the hell is Biden? What happened to that guy? Where's Biden? Tell me, is this the worst administration in history? Where the hell's Biden? Where's Biden? The ladies from North Carolina, what happened to Biden? What the hell's going on?
Where's Biden?
This is the worst administration in history. Nobody knows who the hell they're supposed to be talking to. The only thing that's good is you have totally confused the enemy. Because President Xi of China is saying, who the hell are we speaking to over there? What's going on with that place? Putin is calling, nobody ever calls me. I'm fighting a war. Nobody ever talks to me. We can talk him into not fighting. If we had competent people, but they are not competent. No, but think of these guys. They're probably saying, who the hell is running the United States of America? It can't be her. She's a low IQ individual. Now, just yesterday, it was reported that under Kamala,
Ooh.
almost 50% of the phone calls to FEMA, it was a disaster. They went unanswered. FEMA was not even answering their calls. They had no money. They couldn't pay their damn
That looks
phone bill
nice,
because all the money's
Commissioner.
gone to the migrants. The migrants coming in from various and sundry prisons and mental institutions, right? North Carolina called out for help, and the phone rang, rang, rang. I had to get you. I had to call. They actually asked me, good people from North Carolina, let me tell you, but they were having, this was the worst water hurricane. They call it a water hurricane. It had more water than, I guess, anything they've ever seen. I know this. I was in Palm Beach, and we were actually hit, if you can believe it, lightly by comparison, but it spread all over the Florida landmass, which is amazing. But think of it. They had they weren't prepared at all, the federal government. You know who was prepared? Franklin Graham and a lot of other people. Thank God. And I gave Franklin,
awesome.
we gave him a lot of money, and others
I like
too,
that
$7
desk. I
million.
like the
That's
L-shaped
good.
desk.
And the reason is they do such a good job. I was going to do it myself, and then I see Franklin, the way he works, and I said, you do it. Here's the money. Just do it.
You do it.
But
Here's
he
the
was
money.
great, and the whole group is great. But we had no help from FEMA. FEMA is a disaster. They are missing in action. They have no money. They took all of the money and they spent it on the migrants. They have no money. What a disgrace. So they have no money for the people of North Carolina that have lost their houses.
Yep.
Many have died.
This is
Many are
exactly
missing.
what I've been saying.
And it's a horrible thing, and they
Okay,
don't
give
have
me
the money.
one
But
second.
we're going to be here hopefully on January 20th, and you're going to see very good and very quick service. All right? Very quick service. You know, Kamala's putting up migrants in luxury hotels in Manhattan while Americans who have lost their homes are living in tents and living without tents, too. But, you know, one of the most incredible things about what's taken place, and I was not interested in the election from the standpoint of North Carolina with the people. I wanted to have the people solve their problem, help them. But from the election standpoint, I said to my people, I think the most you can probably get is 50% of the vote. They lost their houses. They've lost relatives and husbands and wives. I mean, a lot of people killed. Terrible. And I said to him, that's the worst, and that's 99% of our effort. But just out of curiosity, we have an election going on, a big one. I think the most important election in the history of our country. I said,
Definitely
so
one of
just
them.
out of
What's up, Pat?
curiosity, are they going to be able to vote in North Carolina? They just got hit so hard. And I figured if we got 40 or 50% of the vote, it would be great. I mean,
Yeah, I
it would
like
be
that.
wonderful. It would
I like
be
that
nice.
ghost light.
And you know what happened? You broke the all-time record for voting. I mean, how the...
I like that ghost light a lot, Kalisha.
Think of it. You broke the all-time record thus far. In other words, this far in, and it's not even close. What do you think of that, Mr. Senator Bud? What do you think? That's pretty amazing people, right? No, but think of it. I figured if you got 50%, it would be a miracle. And they beat the records from other times. But we've had just a great time together. We had 2016, then we have 2020, where we did much better, okay? We did much better. We got a lot more votes. We got millions of more votes, but a lot of things happened. A lot of bad things happened. But this time, I will tell you, and I think a lot of it's that you like me, but you like me even better because you saw these grossly incompetent people. It made me much more popular than I was, and maybe more popular than I should be. I don't know. Because we're blowing it away. We're doing... Now, I don't know. You still have to go and vote. We have to, as they say in football, let's finish it off, right? You got to get that ball across the end zone. You got to get it into the end zone, and that's where we are. But we're in great shape to finish off these people, these leftist, crazy people that are destroying our country, and we're not going to let them destroy it. She destroyed San Francisco. She helped destroy the state of California. We're
It's
not
true.
going to let her destroy our country. We're not going to let it happen.
You gotta. Oh,
we got
nice.
to get out there.
I like it. That thing's sweet.
And when I'm president, we're going to evict the illegals, and we'll take back our properties. You know, you take a look at what they've done. They've actually taken over property all over our country. They've taken over property, and you know, we're going to get the housing and the relief and everything else that we need. But we're going to take back our country. Okay?
Yeah.
And under the Trump administration,
Kamala has low
the
energy.
only free service we're going to be given to these illegal alien criminals, and many of them are not criminals, but a tremendous number of criminals are here. The only free aid they're going to get is a free ride back home.
Yeah.
And I'm always going to put America first, and we are just 3 days away from the greatest political victory in the history of our country, I guess, in the history of the world.
We gotta get it.
But it only happens if you vote. If you don't vote, then bad things could be happening. You'll be very depressed. And we don't want to have depression, right? There's no depression. You know the best way to stop depression? Work your ass off. Work your ass off. You don't have time. You want to work so hard that you don't have time for depression. But
It's
I
true.
didn't come here looking for your money. I don't need your money. I don't want your money. All I want you to do is get out and vote. Get out and vote. Tuesday. You've a lot. Let's see, out of curiosity, who has voted already? So who's going to be voting on Tuesday? All right, that's good. That's good. I'm actually going to be voting on Tuesday also. With your help, we're going to defeat Kamala Harris, and we're going to win North Carolina, and we're going to make America great again.
Let's get it.
Thank you. So, just to finish it off, because I'm the greatest weaver, you know, we used to
greatest
say, oh, he's
weaver.
rambling. No, I'm not rambling. It's like genius, okay? I don't ramble. I'll let you know when I ramble, and then we'll have to talk. No, I cover different territories. It always ends up back in the right location.
He's the chosen one.
If you look at what we've done together, it's, you know, let's see, I'll have 3 tomorrow. On Monday, I'm going to do 4 of these. That's a lot. How many people can do 4 of these in one day? I don't think too many people. And I was going to ask you, thank you. And I was going to ask you.
They love him. MAGA.
You know, it's late. What the hell time is it? It's total trap. I was going to ask you, maybe I'll do a very shortened version, and will everybody be happy with that? I didn't think so. No, we won't do that. We won't do that. But so just to finish off the original thought, though, it's always nice to finish things up, like in life. You got to finish it up properly. But was Rogan good? Did he do a good job, though? That was good, right? Joe Rogan, good man. He's a good man. We had a lot of fun with a lot of different things, but we're going to take over this, and what we've done is, it's sad that it's coming to an end. So tomorrow I'm doing 3 rallies, and on Monday I'm going to do 4 rallies in one day. That's a lot.
3 rallies tomorrow, 4 on
I
Monday.
mean, my opponent today, gave a press conference. Hello. And then how about, a couple of days ago, she's going to take a day off, do a press conference that lasts about 3 minutes, because you can't, if you ask her questions, she's going to screw it up. So they wanted to be. And then after that, she took the day off. And then she announced a day off and then another day off. And I'm saying, you're trying to win the presidency of the United States. And you had, at that time, about 14 days left, and she was taking day offs all over the place. And I said, you want to be president of the United States? How the hell do you take a day off? I've gone 62 days now. 62 days doing this thing. No day off. No day off. I don't care. I told the golfers, have fun. Enjoy your golf. I'm not playing. I didn't take any day off. We're working hard because we have to win it. And we have to win it, not for me. We have to win it for the country. We got to take back this craziness. So never in history has there been anything like this. If, for instance, somebody comes down in 4 years and they're going to be the Republican nominee or the Democrat nominee, and they call for a rally, and they'll have 300 or 400 people show up. And it'll usually be in a ballroom, and they'll raise a couple of bucks or something, but you'll have 250. Look, Biden couldn't fill up the 8 circles, right? Remember the 8 circles? They used to ask the fake news media to, please, would you mind standing in a circle? Because they couldn't. But it's like an amazing phenomenon what's taking place. It's never happened before where I don't even ask them. I come out of this very nice airplane. I never say, oh, how many people are there? Have we been able to fill? I never say it. I used to say it at the beginning in 2016, and then I got bored because it was always full. We always had the ladies of North Carolina. Am I right? Am I right? Always full.
Look at he's such a troll. He put a bunch of women in the background.
That candidate may be, and he's going to come in, and he's going to come here. You have 200, maybe 250 people. This will never happen again. I really believe it. I've been told that by many very sophisticated people. Front row Joes, they probably know. But, and you'll never see the front row Joes either. You know why? Because they don't want to be bored. They don't want to be. That's the end of the front row Joes, but we're going to do something. We're going to have a celebration. Let me just tell you, so I have 3 big ones tomorrow, and then I have 4 big ones on Monday.
That's sweet.
And then we shut it down. Never to happen again. Which is sad, but here's the good part. Hopefully we will have achieved our goal. We're going to become president, and we're going to have a different form of rally, a rally for our country. We're going to fix our country. So we're going to have rallies for our country, and it is sad. It's sad because this will never happen again. I don't believe it can ever happen again. It was just amazing, like a confluence. You know what the word confluence? It was a confluence of things that happened. And it became something so special. People, foreign leaders watch our rallies. But I've had the biggest foreign leaders say, at 6 o'clock in the morning, I watch your rallies. I said, it's amazing. The biggest people. But you know what we're going to have, though, because we want to get this done. And then after that, what we're going to have is a different form, probably a different name, not a word rally, but we're going to be even much happier because we're going to set our country into the right path, not the wrong path. If you saw today, it came out, they're close to 90%, the right way, wrong way thing that they do, these crazy people do back there. How about they're close to 90% wrong way? And then she says, no, I'll do the same thing as Joe Biden's been doing, and he's 90% off. He's got nobody's ever been at 90%. One thing I'm very proud of, the press, when I first got started, the fake news back there. Very proud of that name. I gave a lot of good names, didn't I, right? But I'm very proud of that name. But the fake news back there, they were at 92% approval rating when we started this journey in 2015. And now they're less than Congress, which is in the low 12s.
I love it. That is fucking hilarious.
Because I've exposed them as being fake. And the only problem with that, and I'm so proud of that term, but the only problem with that is the word fake is not strong enough. They're crooked, like Crooked Hillary. They're corrupt. They're actually a lot of corruptness. Not all of them, but about 91%. No, there's some good ones sitting. Oh, whoa, a couple of good ones, actually. I'm sorry, would you go home and tell your wife? I wasn't talking about you. He knows who I'm talking about. No, there are a couple of good ones, but a lot of bad ones. And you know, really, to make America great again, you really need a free and clear and beautiful and fair press. You really do. And we don't have that. Yesterday, it was announced that Kamala's economy, and this is the big thing, because you never want to be involved with something like this if you're president. So just remember, it started before me. Yesterday were like the worst numbers I've ever heard. It was announced that Kamala's economy added only 12,000 jobs last month. You know, usually it's 200,000, 250, 390. I mean, 12,000. That's like Walmart will add 12,000. Not this country. One of the worst, he said it's overstated. You get a lot of funny people in North Carolina. No, they're very, no, I had it at the rally I had, you had one person, two people, they were giving me the greatest lines I've ever heard in North Carolina. I actually asked them to stand up. I was going to take their number because they were great. But that was very good. They're overstated, he said. No, but it's a very serious thing. It's only good for one thing. It's horrible. It may be a depression. It's only good for one thing. You know what the one thing is? If you are running for office against the idiots that caused this problem. If you're running for office, it's very good, right? Other than that, Ted Budd, it's not so good. Other than that, no, if you're running for office, it's good. If you're running for office against them, it's great, actually. But it's the worst report, one of the worst job reports of all time. It is actually. Listen to this. We lost 30,000 private sector jobs in a single month, while 250,000, think of that, people left the workforce. 250,000 people left the workforce because they didn't have jobs. More than 100,000 manufactured jobs have been wiped out since the beginning of the year. 50,000 jobs this month. You know what that is? I mean... An amazing statistic is that 100% of all of the net job gains in the past year, 100% of the gain, all of it, has gone to migrants. 100% of it.
Crazy.
And they're taking the jobs from African Americans and Hispanic Americans, and especially the African Americans. And I'll tell you what, African Americans, if you looked at the numbers, you would never vote for these people. Again, it's a whole big con job. And they're trying to delay it till after the election. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. Because if you take a look at so you have African American jobs, people that are occupying these jobs, and they're going to lose them, and they're losing them at numbers that nobody's ever seen before, and they want to announce them after the election. No, they should announce them now. They know what they are, and it's a terrible thing is happening. They're coming in and they're taking jobs held by black people. They've had those jobs for 10, 15, 20 years. They have a house, they have a little mortgage or something, and their jobs are going to be gone by illegal migrants coming into the country. And you should show those numbers. You should take those numbers and you should announce them before the election, because if you see those numbers, everybody's going to be. And by the way, Hispanic Americans are next. They're being very, very badly and severely hurt. If Kamala wins, You're 3 days away from the start of a 1929-style economic depression. That's what a lot of people think. And a lot of the genius, real brilliant people like Scott Bessent and others, I call them the 184 people. You know what that is, 184 IQ, as opposed to about a 70 IQ for our person that we're fighting on the other side. They have 184 IQ. No, the geniuses on Wall Street, a lot of them, you know what they're saying? The only reason the stock market's doing good, doing okay, but it's doing actually good, because everyone thinks that Trump is going to win the presidency. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
I can see that. If I win, you're 3 days away from the best jobs, the biggest paychecks, and the brightest economic future that the world has ever seen.
Bring us back.
Kamala's inflation nightmare has cost the typical American family $30,000 in higher prices, and now she wants to impose the largest tax hike in American history on you, on everybody in this room. More than $3,000 a year. Congratulate. This is the only person ever to run a campaign on the fact that I will raise your taxes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to tell you, I mean, the only thing you can say is maybe they're finally honest about something, but I've been watching politics. Every politician wants to you want to do it. Sometimes you can't, but you want to lower taxes. She's running on a basis that I will raise your taxes. I will take, you know, I got a lot of things for you. I passed the biggest tax cut in the history of our country. And included in that is like things many things are included, many really good things, but one of them is the estate tax or the death tax. If you have a small farm or a small business, you can give it to your kids. If you like your kids, if you don't bother, don't even listen. No, there are some people that don't. Are there any people here that don't like their kids? Because if you don't, then don't waste your time listening to this. But I, you know, in that package, I have the estate tax, or the death tax, as some people call it. It's a tough tax. And for farmers and small businesses, you can leave it to your kids without a tax. Isn't that nice? And that's a big deal because they leave their farm to their children, and then the children get the tax bill, which is humongous, and they go out and they borrow money, and almost, I mean, in many cases, big percentage. They lose the farm.
Fucking hilarious.
Gets taken away by the banks, and they've never dealt with banks before. They don't know how to handle banks. You know, there's a way to handle. I do. Who said that? I got it out before he did. I do. I know how to handle banks. But the banks come in and they end up taking the farm and, you know, going smiling all the way to the other bank. But I'll tell you, listen, so they want to end that. They don't want that, and I want that. I think it's great. You love your kids. You leave the farm. They have to go out and borrow a fortune. They have to pay like a 50% tax on the value, and they don't have that money. And so often they lose the farm, they lose the business, they lose whatever it is. And I have a very powerful paragraph in there. You don't have to do that. And they want to take that out. They don't like that. There's a meanness to this group that that a lot of people don't understand. I will massively cut taxes. I'm going to cut taxes for workers and small businesses. And we will have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors.
Let's get it.
No tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors. Our seniors are going to be happy. You know, our seniors have a, you know, very fixed income. Most of them, not all of them. I'm a senior. Can you believe it? I'm a senior. I don't feel like a senior. I feel. And you know what they'll do to me? Tomorrow there'll be headlines in that stupid New York Times. The worst. There'll be a headline. I mean, the Washington Post looks like it's phasing out. That's a good thing for America. But the Times will follow. So inaccurate. So there'll be a headline that I have a conflict of interest because I'm the president, and I said no tax on Social Security benefits. Donald
Right,
Trump
that
has a
would be great.
conflict of interest. He only did it to save like $100 a week or something. But you know, we're getting you back a lot of what they have destroyed because inflation has destroyed the seniors and people on a fixed income. And we're getting that back
I'm
for
ready.
you by no tax. You deserve that. You deserve it. And to rapidly reduce inflation, I will end Kamala's war on American energy, and we will drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We got more liquid gold than Russia, than Saudi. You know, we were in 4th place when I took over, and when I left. Oh, you have to do me a favor. Drop my all-time favorite chart in history. Just drop it. Drop that chart if they can, if you can find it.
Hold on, I'm about to look at it. I just got it.
There it is. I love that chart. I sleep in that
Yeah! My uncle
kiss
has that. I
chart.
love
Without
that
that
one.
chart, I wouldn't be here. Can you believe it? I mean, it wasn't there. That wouldn't have helped me in Butler, but that helped me when I turned. Just look at my chart. What the hell was that? No, we wouldn't be here without that chart. Even if the chart were lousy, I'd love that chart. But it's great. That was the lowest point in the history of our country for illegal immigration. And I can tell you, drugs were there and lots of other things. Human trafficking in women. You know, the human trafficking is largely in women. How about this? Their open border policy, it's not even believable. 325,000 children are missing, dead, or sex slaves or slaves. Think of that. If that were a Republican, or if that were me especially, if that took place during my administration, they'd be talking about bringing back the electric chair. They really would.
I like it though.
See those
It's nice.
people? They don't write
That
about
fucking
it.
that flag is so cool.
That's like take your biggest stadium and fill it up many times. That's what you're talking about. 325,000 children are missing or in a form of slavery. They're gone. Probably will never be seen by their parents again. That's what they're giving us. And nobody even writes. You know, that's a carnage. That's a beyond anything people have ever heard. And they won't even write stories about it. They won't write a story about Afghanistan and that horrible stupidity of Afghanistan. The way they did it, they moved the military out first. They don't want to cover it. Now it's like, you know, we're fighting some pretty bad forces, let me tell you. Over the past 4 years, Kamala has orchestrated the most egregious betrayal that any leader in American history has ever inflicted on their people. There's never been anything like this. She's violated her oath, eradicated our sovereign border, and unleashed an army of gangs and criminal migrants from prisons and jails, insane asylums and mental institutions from all around the world, from Venezuela to the Congo. Oh, the Congo. The Congo is sending a lot of people. They're sending their people in jail. Think of the money they save and the danger of it all.
I love it. It's great.
And they're coming into our country. They're coming in through Kamala and her open border stupidity policies. Today, I want to hear directly from a mother whose beautiful child is gone, was killed. Her life has been totally shattered. Please take a look.
Sunday night, I asked her to not stay up super late because of her coming to work with me in the morning to do her summer school. She said, okay. I told her good night and I love you. I went to bed, not realizing that that was going to be the last time I saw her.
We're best friends.
Yeah. We're going to shake it again.
I woke up to notice she wasn't in her bed. I'm in my heart trying not to lose my mind because I don't know where she is. I finally remembered her phone had a location on, and her phone was pinging just 2 minutes down the road, right behind the skate park. I start driving to the direction the phone was being pinged at, and I see a couple cop cars with lights on. I see yellow tape, and immediately my heart drops and sinks to the bottom of my stomach. My daughter's hands and ankles were both bound. She was strangled to death, left with no pants. And I know in my heart, she fought incredibly hard. She was not going down without a fight.
It's terrible.
We begin with two men we're learning are charged with capital murder tonight, accused of killing a 12-year-old girl.
Police say these men strangled her before dumping her into that creek. Both men were in the country illegally.
Apprehended, then released by Border Patrol less than 3 weeks before Jocelyn's death. The men accused of killing Jocelyn Nungare are affiliated with the gang known for brutal violence.
Kamala Harris was in charge of immigration and our borders. If we had better border policies and not open borders and not these catch and release policies, I truly believe this all could have been prevented. Under her being vice president of this country, my daughter's life was ripped away from her. She had her entire life ahead of her.
Happy birthday, dear Jocelyn.
My daughter is 6 feet in the ground based off of policies that she allowed to keep. Kamala Harris did have one job, and she not only failed, not me, she failed my daughter, she failed Jocelyn. You know, she was only 12. President Trump reached out, gave me his sincerest condolences as not a former president, but just as a father, someone who cares. I believe Donald Trump needs to be back in office. I can at least know that my next child will be safe in this country.
It's wild.
And you have thousands of cases, all different forms of crime, many against very young girls, 12 years old in that case, Jocelyn. The day I take the oath of office, the migrant invasion ends and the restoration of our country begins.
I like that hat she's wearing, that Trump Vance hat.
And it's the
all red
if
one,
you look
red
at
one
the
with all
polls,
the red.
polls that are so prevalent. I see so many polls, but almost every poll has inflation as the #1 problem in the economy. But I think that's the #1 problem for our country. We're going to get inflation. We're going to get the economy taken care of. I'm real good at that stuff. We're going to take care of it. It's going to happen fast. We're going to drill. We're going to drill. We're going to do other things too. We're going to get Elon to come in and give us a little advice on cutting the hell out of your expenses. Elon. Anybody that can send a rocket ship and land it back like that is going to be very easy to cut expenses. But he wants to. And he, by the way, gave us his total endorsement. You know that? He said if Trump doesn't win, it's virtually the end of the country as we know it. And it is. We're on very thin ice. But when you vote on Tuesday, I want you to remember Jocelyn and Lincoln Riley and Rachel Morin and every American who has been stolen from us by Kamala's ridiculous open border policies. She's not going to change that. The day they got in, they just opened it up. They got a little bit tougher about 2 months ago. They forgot to, however, end the flights flying over the border with thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, dumping them all over our Middle West. The United States is now an occupied country. Can you imagine having to say, we're an occupied country? But it will soon be an occupied country no longer. On November 5th, 2024, it will be Liberation Day in America.
Yep.
On day one, I will launch the largest deportation program of criminals in American history. It's going to be the largest deportation of criminals. We're going to get them out of here fast. I will rescue every city and town that has been invaded and conquered, and we will put the vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them the hell out of our country. And to expedite the removals of Trenday Aragua. This is a vicious gang.
Aragua.
You have other very vicious gangs, MS-13. They're savages. I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Can you imagine? We have to go back to 1798. That's when they ran a country a little tougher, I guess.
Yeah.
To target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on American soil. And if they come back into our country, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility of parole. We don't want them. And I am hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law enforcement officer.
Like it.
And I will immediately ban all sanctuary cities in the United States of America.
Yes, we need that.
Black voters are furious with Kamala over illegal immigration. It's destroying their communities, and if this continues, there will have been no political power left for them because all of their communities will be majority migrant. That's what's happening. You're going to have majority migrant because the Democrats want to get them votes. They want to get them enlisted to vote. And what about Gavin Newsom? In California.
There's your boy, Tyler.
I was very happy to see. Did you see his poll numbers went way down today? Did you see that? Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom, one of the worst governors in the history of our country. He signed a bill making it illegal for somebody to even ask for voter ID. In other words, if you're with the state, and you want to check somebody, you're not allowed to vote. You're not allowed to say, "Excuse me, ma'am, may I please see your voter ID?" They want to put you in jail if you want to do that. They want to treat you rather harshly. So he's taken it a step further. Why would they not want voter ID? You know why? There's only one reason. Because they want to cheat. There's only one reason.
It's the only reason.
We got to straighten that whole thing out. We will. We will. I will keep American communities for American citizens. We're going to have American people in our communities now. We're not going to let this. Do you know that these gangs have weapons that are above military grade? And that even the police, I mean, it's like very tough, very tough. In Colorado, Aurora, you have the same gang, the Venezuela gang, has taken over apartment complexes. In other words, they're like me. They're in the real estate business. But they do it with guns, and they do it with violence, tremendous violence. On top of it all, Kamala says she would not do one thing differently from crooked Joe Biden, which is in itself disqualifying.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
I stood there on the tarmac watching you check your watch.
The chaotic and deadly U.S. evacuation from Afghanistan stunned Americans and the world and cost the lives of 13 U.S. soldiers.
Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been caught at the border and then released into the United United States.
An Afghan national is
reason
in custody
she won't
today
say that
after being
because she
accused
knows
of
that
plotting
that'll
an
make her
election
already
night terrorist
involved
attack.
with
The suspect entered the U.S. on a special
So of course she's
immigrant
going to say
visa.
nothing.
Gut-wrenching new details in the murder of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley. The illegal immigrant suspect, who cops say committed the heinous murder, is a Venezuelan national who crossed the unsecured southern border back in 2022.
2 men investigators say are in the country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder in the death of Jocelyn Nungaray.
A 5th illegal immigrant accused of attacking 2 New York City police officers over the weekend showed no remorse or regret.
Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Only 18% say the economy is in excellent or good condition.
US inflation has hit a new 40-year high, increasing by 9.1% over the financial year.
Authorities saying Train de Aragua, which has been linked with more than 100 criminal investigations here in the U.S., has now been found operating its criminal enterprise in apartment complexes.
Were you the last person in the room? Yes.
If you want to end this disaster, you must, on Tuesday, get out and vote. You got to vote. Thank you for everybody that has voted. We appreciate it. So we're pleased to be joined by some great people from your state, largely. A man who's become an incredible senator, highly respected in Washington, D.C. by other senators and everyone else. He's doing a great job. Senator Ted Budd. Thank you, Ted. Thank you, Ted. A current congressman who really is something special. I was with him right at the beginning, and now he's running for, as I understand it, Attorney General of your state. And he's going to be fantastic. He has my complete and total endorsement, Dan Bishop. Dan. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Congressman Richard the Warrior Hudson. I call him the Warrior because he is. He's a warrior. Right. And 2 people that are terrific. We backed them in the primary. We backed them now, and they're going to win their races. Congressional candidates Addison McDowell and Mark Harris. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Good guys, 2 good guys are going to be great. You heard him speak. RNC Chairman Michael Whatley. He did such a good job here that I said, just run the whole country. I took him out. He was the GOP chair, you know that, here and North Carolina, and we won it. There was no shenanigans. He had 602 lawyers, and I said, that's the guy I want. And now he's got a lot of North Carolinas where he's got to watch, right? But it looks like it's going very well. Thank you very much. Great job you're doing. Thank you. And a spectacular chairman of the GOP, Jason Simmons. Jason, thank you. And the word is that Franklin Graham is here. Where's Franklin? Is he here? Franklin Graham, I'll tell you, he is so good, whether he's here or not. I don't even care. The guy is great. He works so hard. His father, Billy Graham, the great Billy Graham, is looking down, and he's seeing Franklin, and he is so proud of Franklin. Thank you very much. He's great. And Pam Bondi is here, the Attorney General of Florida for a long time, and she is great. Fantastic woman. A fantastic friend. A fantastic friend and woman. And to the best of my knowledge, Pam, Silk is here. Where the hell is Silk? Whoa! Look how beautiful she is. She is beautiful. My wife told me a long time ago now, darling, there's 2 people on television. They are absolutely amazing. And I said, nobody's amazing. You know, I've sort of seen it all. I've seen it all. Nobody's amazing. And I went over and I looked anyway. I want to be nice, you know. I got to be nice. And I saw these 2, and it was amazing. It really was. And they've been with me through thick and thin for 9 years, right? And we lost our beautiful diamond, but we still have our magnificent silk, right? Thank you. Thank you, honey. So just in conclusion, here are the facts on Kamala. She's a radical left Marxist, rated even worse than crazy Bernie Sanders and Pocahontas herself. Pocahontas, you know, Elizabeth Warren, remember? Somebody said, you don't look like an Indian. She said, I am an Indian. My mother told me I had high cheekbones, okay? I think it's actually racist. I think that's actually racist if you want to really get technical. She was being racist when she said that she has high cheekbones. Remember? And then I drove her crazy and everyone was calling up Pocahontas.
Okay,
And she actually went out for a blood test and she was so happy. 1,024th is what? 1,000.
Yeah. Richie sent me the
That
picture.
means I had more Indian blood in me than she had, and I have none. And she was so happy because they said thousands of years ago it may have happened. No, it's terrible when you do that, right? It's terrible when Kamala says that she worked in McDonald's and, you know, she labored over that French fry stove. So the fake news went to McDonald's and they said, no, she never worked here. They don't want to report it. But I bring it up as much as it, because you know why? It's so simple. She's a liar, a real liar. Not a good liar, but she's a significant liar. And when you lie about something so simple, she never worked there. But I did.
You worked on the corner. This motherfucker said she worked on the corner. Something I'm dead.
This place is amazing. Just remember, it's other people saying it, it's not me. I remember when somebody, because you're not allowed to use the word fat. If you use the word fat, it's the end of your political career. So I was in New Hampshire, which, by the way, I'm leading also. It's not a swing. New Hampshire.
Holy shit. Holy shit, did you see that, Kalisha? Did you hear what that guy just said?
I admonished him. And he said, Chris Christie is a fat pig. And I said, and you can't use the word fat. And I said, sir, please sit down. Chris Christie is not a fat pig.
And he's like, oh, she said she worked at McDonald's.
I said he's not a fat pig. So the press couldn't write about it because I was,
she worked on the corner.
Helping Chris Christie. And he is not a fat pig. Do you agree with that, Pam? Don't say it. Kamala destroyed our economy. She was an original creator of defund the police movement. And anybody who wants to defund our great police for even one day or 1 week is not worthy of being the president of the United States. She's not worthy for a lot of other reasons.
I would hope not. We'll see, though.
Kamala vowed to abolish ICE. She pledged to confiscate your guns and endorsed a total ban on handgun ownership.
Yeah, we'll see.
She even called for free sex changes for illegal aliens in detention. All, of course, at taxpayer expense. Nobody minds paying the bill, right?
Good luck to you,
but with your vote this November, we are going
to get out and vote.
Fire Kamala, and we are going to save America. We're going to save America. Right? We will cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your wages. We're gonna do things that you've never seen before. We are gonna cut your prices right down to the bottom. You know what's gonna do it? Energy. Energy brought it up, and energy is gonna bring it down. We have so much energy. We have so much energy. We're going to raise your wages and bring thousands and thousands of factories back to America, including back to North Carolina. And you know what we're going to bring back here? Because, I used to come here a lot. for your furniture. They had the best furniture in the world, I think. There's never been a replacement to your furniture business. And I used to come, I was building hotels, a lot of hotels. I have had a lot of different careers when you think, but I was doing beautiful hotels. And I'd come here, thank you, darling. Thank you. And I'd come to North Carolina and I'd go around to the different furniture, and they were genius. I'd say, could you do something with the
Hey,
handle
let's get him
of
in
that
office.
chair? Could you do something? Like what, sir? Ding, 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 ding. It's like a piece of art. Would you like me to put your
Maybe
face
if
on
Trump
it? I can
wins,
do
he'll
that, sir. Ding,
give
ding,
your
ding.
crazy neighbor a job.
And in about 10 seconds, it's better looking than my damn face. No, the talent was unbelievable. Really, it was unbelievable. And they got wiped out by China and others. They just took, I mean, you have still a small fraction of what it is. But when I do my tariffs, because as I told you, it's the most beautiful word. Outside of love and religion, see, I had to do that, otherwise I'd be in trouble. I had to say that. But it's the most beautiful word in the dictionary, tariff. It will save our country. Only stupid people don't want to use it, or corrupt people also. Do you know China, during my 4 years, paid us hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs and taxes?
Are terrorists like the boogeyman for you? Like
They were
Project
fine with it.
2025 is for some liberals?
And
That's
we'll
okay.
end
The
up having a
tariffs
good
won't harm you.
relationship
You'll
with
be
China,
all right.
but you know, it was very
They
unfair
can't
what was
get you.
happening. And but we're going to bring your business, your furniture business back. We can do it so easy. Some of those guys that I dealt with are older now. Maybe they don't come back, but it's in the blood.
No.
Really, it's in the blood. You have the greatest artisans in the world. You know, I went to China and I started buying chairs and things.
What's
and,
going on
and
now?
A lot of problems.
Vaughn is killing this
I'm serious
economy.
about it. They were just not made the same way. And I had like a guy would sit in a chair and he's a little bit overweight, like 100 pounds, and he sits in the chair, and the frickin' chair collapses, and I end up getting my ass suit off all the time. That wouldn't happen with the North Carolina chair.
How aren't they? The whole point of the tail.
How would you like it? I built a gorgeous brand new hotel overlooking the park.
States to
I have beautiful furniture. The guy sits down and he breaks his
U.S.
ass.
citizens get jobs. That's what the tariffs
No,
are
we
meant
don't want
for.
that. We want to bring it back to North Carolina. You're the best in the world. All right, Ted, you want to do that? We're going to do that. We will build American, we will buy American, and we will hire American. I will end the war in Ukraine, which would have never started. The war in Ukraine would have never started.
My friends own
I will
businesses,
stop
and
the
they tell
chaos in
me
the Middle East. October
they're all
7th would have
voting
never
Trump and say the
happened.
business was better under Trump.
And
than
I will
under
prevent
other
World War III
own the business
as
so
only
I
I
don't have
can.
to tell you.
I can. You're going to end up in a World War III with these idiots
And
that we
fucking
have
who cares?
running our
We
country.
don't, you
They're
don't need all
idiots.
this bullshit
We will
product from
crush
China and
violence.
shit.
Do you remember they
We should
sent
just start
Kamala
making
to
shit here.
negotiate with Russia? Remember that? 3 days before they invaded. They wouldn't have done it with me, and they didn't. I was there for 4 years. They never did do it. No, Vladimir. I would have said, Vladimir, don't do it. I did say that, actually, if you want to know the truth. Vladimir, don't do it, Vladimir. Please don't do it.
No, they're
Don't do
not.
it, Vladimir.
Tariffs are given to the
Don't forget, I'm the one
people
that
selling the shit.
stopped his pipeline.
And what
Europe,
it
the
is
biggest
it's like,
economic
okay,
development
they
job
won't
they
have to
ever
pay
had. I
the
stopped
tariff
it. And then
if they decide to produce the
this
product in the
moron
country.
came in and he approved it.
I mean, I'm not like
This
I'm not speaking
moron
a
came
foreign
in and he
language or
approved the
anything, you
Russian
know.
pipeline. It's called Nord Stream 2.
I don't know who tells
But
you these
you know
things.
what he did?
But
He killed the Keystone pipeline. He got them mixed up.
it's
The
meant
Keystone
to
pipeline
draw
was our
them
pipeline.
here to make their
Keystone
products here in
XL
America.
pipeline. It was our pipeline. He killed it. 48,000 jobs in a very important pipeline. So he got it reversed. It was supposed
Billy,
to be let the
I love
Keystone
you.
get built. They were starting construction. 48,000 jobs. It was
You're
the
one of my
reverse.
favorite wheelchair
He should
people.
have killed the
Forever and
Russian
ever and ever.
pipeline, or let it be killed, because I already killed it. But the Keystone pipeline, he should have. He got it. He gets everything mixed up. He wouldn't tell. If you asked him what's the Keystone pipeline,
okay, that's cool.
He wouldn't be able to tell you. If I asked him what is MAGA,
And I'm telling you that I have friends that
Joe?
own businesses, and my uncle's a business owner, and they all tell me that things were 1,000% better
I don't
under
know.
Trump. So I don't know what to
You know
tell
what
you,
it
bud.
is, Joe? It's make America
I'm gonna
great
listen to
again.
the people that I know 1,000% are business owners, so they know what they're talking about, as opposed to you who wouldn't. Hey, all due respect, I'm not calling you a liar or anything, but I don't even know you.
But you know what
You
they
know what
should
I'm
do?
saying?
I think
So I'm gonna take it. I'm
in the
gonna take a
favor,
word
in
on
order
people
so
that I
that
know,
we
as opposed
continue
to somebody on the
say that we have
internet.
a great
You know, I'm
democracy, I
sorry.
think she should go in and give him back the presidency, let him finish out the run. If they can do it once, let him do it again. Because I actually think he'll do just as good. So, and you got to look, if I don't win this thing after all this talk, I'm in trouble. Will you please go and vote? I mean, I came here.
All right. Yeah, Billy.
Whatever
I
the
know.
hell
Yeah, you
time
guys
it
do
is, who
too.
the
Right.
hell
Another
knows? I'm
business
giving
owner
you
right
the
there.
full bore.
So
You
I don't know
wouldn't
what to
let me
tell
leave
you.
in
Like,
half an hour.
these are people that
I
I
could have
know.
run up
You know
here,
what I'm
done
saying?
it,
That tell me these
start
things.
screaming, make America great again
Every
for
business owner
5
I
or 6
know
times and then leave to the cheers of
tells
the
me things were
crowd.
better under
I
Trump.
would have been home
Half
sleeping
my
right
friends in the
now.
unions tell me business was
I
better
hope
under
to
Trump.
hell
So I don't
that you're
know
going to get
what
your
you're trying to
asses out
say.
and vote.
And what does it even matter to you anyway? You're not even voting for anything. You know? So you can't really complain about a
Did you
tariff
all vote?
or not complain about a tariff.
Everybody? I figured. I know these guys about it. But we'll crush violent crime and give our police the support, protection, resources, and respect that they so dearly deserve. And by the way, people say to you, how are you going to know who these people are? The migrants. Let me tell you, your local police are incredible. They know their names. They know their middle initial. They know the serial numbers. They know everything about them. They know more about them than we want to know. They'll work with us. So they're dying to do it, too. We will strengthen and modernize our military. We gave so much of it away to Afghanistan. Can you believe that? These idiots, they gave away the best tanks, the best planes. They even gave away night goggles. You know,
Idiots,
the Afghans are good fighters, but they don't fight at night. But now they do. They have night goggles. Brand new night goggles, better than what we have. Ours are older.
Oh, my
Can you imagine
God.
what they got, Pamela? Can you imagine? They got everything. So embarrassing. And then they had a parade down their boulevard, or whatever the hell you call it. Wasn't the most beautiful boulevard, but it was a boulevard nevertheless, right? And 3 weeks ago, and they had these armor-plated vehicles that cost millions of dollars, armor-plated, 4 and 5 inches of armor, the best in the world. And they showed
He owns a
going
tire,
down the
like a
boulevard,
garage.
which is basically they were taunting us and mocking us. All that equipment. Look at Uncle Sam back there. Stand up, Uncle Sam. Look at him. Look at this guy. Wow. He's a good-looking Uncle Sam, man. He's got the whole package. Thank you, Uncle Sam. You look great. Wow. Okay, you have a deal.
Yep, a garage.
You have a
Automotive
deal.
garage.
But we'll build a missile defense shield, all made in the USA. We'll rebuild our cities, including our capital in Washington, D.C., making them safe and clean and beautiful. Again, our capital is a mess. People go to the capital, they end up getting shot, killed. We're going to clean our capital. We're going to take it back from these people that run it so badly, so horribly. With an unlimited budget, the budget is virtually unlimited, and they run it so badly. We're going to get rid of the graffiti on the beautiful marble. They have the most beautiful marble columns. When a dollar was a dollar, they built it, right? Most beautiful buildings you've ever seen. We're going to clean up our capital and make it safe again. We'll teach our children to love our country, to honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. And we will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools.
What up, man?
And we will keep men, of course, out of women's sports. And we will defend religious liberty. I will restore free speech, and I will defend the right to keep and bear arms, our Second Amendment. Look at the muscles of this guy. Excuse me. Could you stand up? Look at that guy. You in the beautiful white shirt. Would you look at this guy? Holy mackerel! I'm looking at him. I always wanted to look like that. I just didn't want to do the work. You look good. Don't let anyone stop you. You look good. Good to have you, too. After years of building up foreign nations, defending foreign borders and protecting foreign lands, we are finally going to build up our country. That's what we're going to do. We're going to defend our borders, and we're going to protect our citizens. We got to put America first. It's time to put America first. And we're going to help other countries, but we got to put America first. And we will stop illegal immigration once and for all. We will not be invaded. We will not be occupied. We will not be overrun. We will not be conquered. They're conquering our country. We will be a free and proud nation. Once again, everyone will prosper. Every family will thrive. And every day will be filled with opportunity and hope, and the American dream will be back. But for that to happen, we must defeat Lion Kamala Harris. And we must stop her radical left agenda with a landslide that is too big to rig. We're going to get too big to rig. In other words, get out and vote.
Too big to rig.
For the past 9 years, we have been fighting against the most sinister and corrupt forces on earth. Yup, they're there and they're here. With your vote in this election, you can show them once and for all that this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you. It belongs to you. It belongs to you. To all of you. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country. And 3 days from now, can you believe it, 3 days? We've been waiting for 4 years for this. And if I didn't do so great, I mean, we did much better in the second election. If I didn't do it, I wouldn't have done this. I could have been on the beach. I could have been lots of places. But I would have had no interest in what we're doing.
Drunk.
Remember, this is the greatest political movement probably in the history of the world, in all fairness. And this is
MAGA
the movement
gang.
that's going to bring our country back. And we can do it, and we can do it almost easily. It's going to be a little rough in places. They've taken us to levels that we never thought we'd have to worry about with all these people and, murderers and drug lords and terrorists and we didn't have these problems. We didn't have these problems. Now we do. It's a big problem, but we're going to solve those problems, and we're going to solve them fast, and we're going to get back on track. And once we are, we're going to move like you've never seen before. 3 days from now, it is hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. That's what I believe they're going to be. With your help from now until Election Day, we will restore America's promise, and we will take back the nation that we love. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never, ever back down, and we will never, ever surrender. Together, we will fight, fight, fight. Together, we will win, win, win.
Let's get it.
November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country, and together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America America great
I mean,
again.
Vaughn,
God
was
bless
shit
you.
cheaper?
God bless you, North Carolina. Get out
Was
and
shit
vote. Thank
cheaper for
everybody.
you
We'll
under
be back.
Trump than
Thank
it
you very
was
much.
right now? Yes or no? Let's get. Blame him for COVID, so there you go. Why not trust a man with a proven track record, as opposed to the people that are making things way more expensive? I don't know. It's just my way of looking. He doesn't know how, though, Bird. It's obvious. How doesn't he know, though, when he is a billionaire from being a fucking basically owning a construction company? I don't understand. That doesn't make sense. What you're saying just doesn't make sense. Um, see what CNN has to say about him. Uh, so CNN's talking about a path to victory.
Lots of money.
His dad didn't give him $1 billion. His dad gave him $1 million, right? Yes or no? Did his dad give him $1 million or $1 billion? Right. Did his dad hold on? Did his dad give him $1 million or $1 billion, Vaughn? Because that's a very big difference in numbers. See, it seems by some of the things that you say that you just don't like the man, which is cool. You don't have to like him. I don't care. I could care less. But
Little competition. Why would you not
his
want to make
dad
money
didn't
with
give
this
him
app?
$1 billion.
That app
His
is
dad
called
loaned him $1
Audible.
million,
Let's take
and
a
he
look
turned
at the
it
polling
into $1
aggregates
billion over
across
time.
those 7 key battlegrounds that we've been talking about, right?
No. That's an inheritance. Is that when his dad died, you mean? That's when his dad died. I hate everyone. That's fine. You can hate whoever you want. But let's look this up. What year did father pass away? All right, so Trump's been around since the 80s. His dad didn't die till 1999.
In your Sun Belt, you see a little bit more red than blue. In fact, there is no blue in the Sun Belt. But again, it's way too close to call. Trump by 3 in Arizona, 2 in Georgia, 1 in North Carolina, a tie in Nevada. Come over to those Great Lakes and a little bit more blue here. But look at this, just a point in Michigan, less than a point. When you're breaking out this symbol, Jessica, the less than, you know how close the race is. And then, of course, in Pennsylvania, all important Pennsylvania, tied, T-I-E-D. That's the bottom line of this election. Way too close to call at this point. All of the key states within a couple of points, and arguably the most important one, Pennsylvania,
I believe, right?
T-I-E-D.
Just tied. Put that in terms of the electoral map for us. How does that bear out?
Yeah, how does the electoral map bear out? Well, if the results match the polling averages, guess what? Neither candidate gets to 270 electoral votes. I don't even know what other way to put it, because Pennsylvania becomes the all-important key state. Whoever wins Pennsylvania wins the election. We've been talking about it week after week after week. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, just to the southwest of me here in New York City.
Here's my thing, guys, right? And I'm going to say this, and what if Trump flips New York and Illinois, right? What if also Trump takes Nevada? Like, dude, I could honestly see him flipping Illinois, because especially the city of Chicago, the people are fucking pissed now with all the illegal immigrants. They got enough problems in their city. They don't need people dumping more problems on them.
important state. If you can figure out who wins Pennsylvania, you probably know who's going to win the election, because at this point, the polls can only tell you that both candidates are short of the 270 electoral votes needed to win. That is, of course, if the polls are actually right.
That's not how it worked, though. His dad, he was a businessman the entire time. And regardless, right? Isn't that what you're supposed to do for your family? I don't get it. Like, why do people hate when, like, people are such haters when, like, their parents, when somebody else's parents do something for their kid? What the fuck, dude? I wish my fucking parents had money like that to give me. That's how it should be. When you pass away, you give your shit to your kids. Like, you sound like you're a hater, bro. Like, for
Right
real.
on the money, which
I'm just saying, you're just coming off as hateful instead of logical. And
probably won't.
You know, you shouldn't. I don't know. You do
Okay,
what you
explain
want.
that to us, because they're not perfect.
How is he not self-made though? Even if his dad gave him $640 million, right? Okay. Hold on, let's see. So his net worth is fucking $8 billion, Vaughn. Vaughn, his net worth is $8 billion. I'm trying to understand what you're saying, bro. Even if his dad, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Will. Let's say he gave him 640, right? The dude's worth $8 million fucking dollars. Or $8 billion. What are we saying? What are we saying? What is the conversation even about? Bro, you're supposed to do things like that for your fucking kids. You're supposed to give your family and pass down your generational wealth. What about terrorists? What about them? What? I don't understand. Do you have kids? Are you not leaving your kids shit when you pass? Not saying hope you pass anytime soon. Just saying, you know, in most cases, parents pass before their kids. If you pass away, what do you mean? Yeah, I don't get it, bro. I just don't get it. You have 3 kids. Are you fucking leaving it? Are you willing them anything in case you pass away before they do? You know, which is how things are supposed to go. Not saying anytime soon, but are you willing them anything? I don't get it, bro. You just sound like a hater. And I don't want to hear it about tariffs because I already told you the point of the tariffs. The point of the tariffs are just try and get the companies to come to the United States and manufacture their product. That's the point of the tariffs.
No, they are not perfect. So, you know, let's go through history, right? Let's go back since 1972 and look at the key battleground states and say, how off were the polling averages? The polls aren't perfect. They are a tool. They get you in the neighborhood. But when the race is this close, when all the key battleground states are within 3 percentage points, that's within the average error band.
Yes, it is.
The average error band
That's
for
what
state polling
that
averages.
might not be how they work, but he's using that as a leverage. You don't have to shut up. Keep talking. I want you to keep talking. He's using the tariffs as a leverage to get people to come here and make their product.
Since 1972 is, get this, 3.4 points. 3.4 points. And then if you talk about a margin of error, right, like a 95% confidence interval, we're talking about more like plus or minus 9 points. All of the key battleground states are within this error band, and they're actually within the average error band as well.
At midnight,
so let's kind of talk about what happens if you have an average error and apply it to the electoral map, right? Well, if we have an average error and Donald Trump benefits from the average error, guess what? He gets way past 270 electoral votes. He gets to 312. Why? He carries all the Great Lake battleground states. He carries the Southeast battleground states of North Carolina and Georgia. And he carries Nevada and Arizona out west. But of course, Jessica, there's no guarantee that the polls being off would necessarily benefit Donald Trump, even though they did both in 2016 and 2020, because they could, in fact, the polling miss could benefit Kamala Harris like it did the Democrats back in 2022. If there was, in fact, a polling miss that benefited Kamala Harris, an average polling miss, she'd get north of 300 electoral votes. Look at that. She'd get to 319.
though?
Why? She'd carry the Great Lake battleground
I
states,
get
right?
it.
She'd carry Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania.
Same thing,
She'd carry the Southeast battleground states, Georgia, North
I just
Carolina.
don't understand
and she'd
how,
carry
though.
the Southwest battleground states.
I don't see Nevada. I just see Nevada going Trump this year, bro. I don't see Arizona going Democrat.
States of Nevada and Arizona.
I don't know, man.
So the bottom
Maybe
line is this.
I'm being optimistic for sure, but I just feel like people are sick of the shit going on, dude.
The polls at this point
I
point
could be
to a
wrong.
race that's way too
I
close
really
to
could.
call, but an average miss in either direction could turn this into an electoral college blowout. We just don't know at this point.
We just
Well,
jumping off
become a new
point with
school
these blue wall
Republican.
states, which do probably represent the straightest path to victory for
The old school Republican way ain't the way we're doing it.
For
Yeah,
either
no, I
one
know,
of
I
these.
know. No, I know. I'm just saying, I don't see how anybody's voting for her. If you want to tell me you don't like Trump, but that's cool. I don't care. But like, if you tell me that Kamala Harris you think will be a good president, I don't see it.
Candidates.
Yeah.
What do you make of the state of play in those right now?
Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival, the pinnacle of rock festivals in America, returns in 2025 with Linkin Park, Korn, 2 nights of Metallica, no repeat
But
weekend.
Vaughn, you're not understanding though. He doesn't want them to pay the tariff. He's using it as a leverage to get them to make their product in America. I didn't say that that's how tariffs work, but you know, sometimes you use things as leverage to try and get what you need. Right? So there's them getting, bro, that looks like a great concert. She's not at all, dude.
Yeah, well, first of all, you know, I coined the blue wall back in 2009, and initially it referred to the 18 states that ultimately voted Democratic in all 6 elections from 92 to 2012. The most states either party had won over 6 consecutive elections since the formation of the modern party system in 1828. Trump, of course, famously
Vaughn, maybe he won't have to do it. Maybe once he gets in office, people already know to respect him to that fact. You know what I'm saying? So he might not even have to do the tariffs. He's just saying that as a last case scenario that he's going to do it to force them to come here and do and make their products. That's what it's meant for. It's not. I'm not saying that that's how tariffs work, though. I'm saying he's using it as a leverage point. That's what he's doing with it.
dislodged Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin from the blue wall in 2016. And now when people talk about the blue wall, they're usually referring just to those 3 states. So in my mind, it's kind of the bricks that fell out of the wall have become the wall. Now, what's really important is that since 2016, Democrats have regained the initiative in those 3
I'm
states.
just saying, that's what he's doing.
The evidence is that the counter
I
mobilization
can
or the
see it.
backlash to Trump has been more powerful than the mobilization that Trump effectuated in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. The Democrats won the governorships in all 3 in 2018. They won them again by more in 2022. They flipped 3
He's
state
not
legislative
saying he's going
chambers.
to
They
do
held
it.
5 of the 6
He's saying if he
US
has to,
senators.
he'll fucking
And
do
of
it.
course, Biden won
But he's
all
not saying
3,
he's for sure going
in
to do it.
2020 by a combined 260,000
He's basically
votes.
telling these
The
people, like, you're
difference
going to come
is
here and make
that
our shit. Which is why John Deere, they were trying to be fucking sneaky and make some overseas shit. And then they decided to cancel on it. Because they think Trump's going to win. Well, stop acting like one then, Vaughn.
Inflation in particular, I think, creates a tougher environment for them. But given what's happening in the national numbers, Jessica, where the erosion that Democrats are seeing relative to 2020 is primarily among non-white voters, and Harris is largely holding Biden's support among white voters, which was higher than Clinton's 4 years earlier. Clearly, I think these 3 states that are predominantly white and older,
Well, they're gonna
paradoxically,
fucking leave it when you
are
want it till
considered the
further
safer
notice.
path for her at this point than the Sun Belt states that are younger and more diverse.
That's so interesting you bring up that point, because in talking with people, you kind of remind them that conventional wisdom that we've all held true for a long time, a lot of it in so many ways is getting turned weirdly upside down in this race if it ends up shaking out in the final result. One of them being, to your point, Harris's strength with white voters and maybe Trump's, gaining and strength.
No. We're gonna call him a liberal until further notice. Well, he's gonna stop acting like one when he comes in here.
With voters of color, especially in cities, which is an interesting dynamic.
Right. I mean, race and age are kind of narrowing as divides in this election, and gender and education levels are widening in this election. And, if you kind of look at it that way, in the Sun Belt states, such a high percentage of the electorate overall, and certainly such a high percentage of the Democratic coalition are voters of color, that even small shifts away from the Democrats, particularly, what we're seeing among Latino voters, we'll have to see how much actually pans out.
Shut up. Hey, Vaughn, did you see what Trump said about Liz Cheney, and did you see what they're trying to do? How crazy is this shit, right? How fucked up is it that he says something and they can just take it completely out of context, and at least some of the media is starting to say no, that's not what he said, but some people still go with this shit.
I mean, it's crazy to think about it. It used to cost millions to advertise on TV, and now...
This is the last weekend for presidential candidates to campaign, and they are crisscrossing the map to hit as many battleground states as possible. Vice President Kamala Harris will be in Atlanta and Charlotte. Her running mate, Tim Walz, is in Arizona. And former President Trump will be in North Carolina and Virginia this weekend. His running mate, J.D. Vance, will be in Vegas and then Arizona.
Harris and Trump held
I like seeing what they say. It's funny.
dueling rallies just miles
It's always good to know what the people that are against you are saying
from one another in the Milwaukee area last night, with very different messages, as you'd expect. Wisconsin is a key state for them both. Our latest polling shows Harris is leading Trump by about 6 points there.
That's not true.
At Harris's star-studded rally, she zeroed in on union workers and promised
They know
to
that's
create
not true.
good-paying jobs. Meanwhile, Trump rallied against the Green New Deal.
Former President Trump had the battleground states of Michigan and Wisconsin in focus as he makes his case to voters to send them back to
Wording
the White House.
is everything. And Trump battles against the Green New Deal. I want to see what Trump
For
said.
voters, there's no bigger issue than the economy, and the Harris campaign can't be happy to be closing with the worst jobs report in 4
It's
years.
funny. I love
U.S.
listening to it.
employers just added a measly 12,000 jobs
You need a good
in
laugh
October.
every now and then.
And this isn't very reassuring. Harris is once again acting totally clueless on what her first executive action would be.
Day one, what's your first executive action?
Well, my
I
first
came up in a
priority,
middle
which will be
class
probably
city.
the package of bills, is about bringing down the cost of living.
Donald Trump wasting no time explaining how he will
I want that
fix
hat.
Kamala's poor economy.
On day one, I will sign an executive order directing every
Trump
federal
wins, I'm
agency
ordering a
to
bunch of
immediately
hats.
remove every single burdensome regulation driving up the cost of goods. I will create a new cabinet position for a senior member of my administration who will be tasked exclusively with doing everything in the federal government's power to reduce the cost of living.
Oh, I like hearing that. Look, I care about the economy and my bottom dollar, my family, not about this propaganda, that propaganda. I get it, but if you care about the economy and your bottom dollar and your family, then it's clear that you should vote for Donald Trump this November, or actually this Tuesday. I don't know what to tell you. I can't tell you nothing. I just know if you're really just going to go vote for your neighbor, then you can't complain about anything, you know? So, my thing is, I have a 19-year-old nephew, and he has a little brother now. So, with the draft being in place, if, knock on wood, God forbid we go to World War III, I don't know. He might have to go serve, and I don't know. I just don't know if he's ready for that. So, if you care about your bottom dollar, you have. We can go. We don't even have to do 2021 and 2022, or what is it? Yeah, we don't have to do 2021, 2022, or I'm sorry, 2020, 2021. Let's go 2016 to 2019, 2022 to 2024. When was your money better? When was the economy better? When was the bottom dollar better? When could you take care of your family better? When were your streets better? When were your neighborhoods safer? And just be honest, or you don't have to answer if you don't want to. I don't care. Because we have 4 years of them and 4 years of Trump, right? And we can even erase the little COVID time for those 2 years. We don't have to give either one of them credit or discredit. You know what I mean? Meaning, Trump's not responsible for the jobs that were lost because it was COVID, and Biden's not responsible for getting the jobs back because they were just coming back from COVID. So, 2016 to 2019 versus 2022 to 2024, which is better? Because we're pretty much done with 2024. So, what was better? Economic wise, taking care of your family wise, safeness, which was better?
I'm gonna leave here wondering what we missed out on.
Your vote is your power to protect your rights, to strengthen your community, to change your future. Use your power. Vote by November 5th. Learn more at vote.org/Ohio.
Jessica, I thought that Kamala really thought that Bidenomics was working. And when I saw the 12,000 jobs, I thought must be for a county or maybe a state, but it's for the whole country.
Yeah, no, it was definitely disappointing
She's
in
not
comparison,
funny.
actually, to the gangbusters reports that we've been having. And there were some big strikes, like at Boeing, and the impacts of the hurricanes is what economists are
Was she
saying
just gonna laugh?
largely contributed to this. But they certainly have a good economic record to run on, and they have been, which is why she has
we could be in. But I understand what you're saying, but you're not understanding. He's not saying that the tariffs are going to be the for sure 100% thing. What he's saying is he's going to use that as leverage to get them to come here to produce their product, right? And I'll guarantee none of them want to pay 100 or 200% tariffs. None of them. So they're going to come here and build their product. That's all it is. And in turn, it's going to give American citizens jobs, and we're going to be getting products made in America. You see what I'm saying? So I understand what you're saying, but like I said, we had 3 years of him, or 4 years of him and 4 years of them. We're going to erase 2020 and 2021. 3 years of him, 3 years of them. 1,000% better under Trump, and I don't know what to tell you. So you can go vote for your neighbor, your crazy neighbor. You can go vote for Kamala if you want to. You can go vote for Trump. You can go vote for Jill Stein. Shit, if RFK is still on your ballot, go vote for him. But I know for one thing that you get what you get. I just don't think people should complain. And no liberals should be allowed to complain about anything going on right now unless they're going to change their vote. That's my thing with it, So you're telling me pre-COVID your profits were better. So then, it's obvious who you should vote for, but I don't know what to tell you.
completely decimated his lead on the economy. I don't know if you guys saw the new Marist polls across the blue wall states, which are the keys to the kingdom for the Democrats. But Trump only has a lead of 1 point, I believe, in Michigan, and 2 points in Wisconsin, or in Pennsylvania. It is, I think, a little bit, 3 or 4 points in Wisconsin. And that's because she is messaging on this nonstop. And Donald Trump is messaging on anti-trans issues. And that ad that shows during the football, I get it. That is a good ad that says she's for they, them, and Donald Trump is for you. But if you
this the
are
one we
running
watched
in a general
yesterday?
election and
Yeah.
it's the economy stupid and has been the
Yeah,
entire
that's the one we
time,
watched yesterday because she got
why are you?
smoked. Let's see. Huh, he didn't live stream.
Seven million new people under the age of 30 bought homes when Donald Trump was president.
What is she gonna do though? Like, she's not funny.
Yeah, isn't that great?
That's great. I love homes.
Yes.
John
good.
Deere released plans to build a factory in Mexico. Trump said if he wins, he'll put a 300% tariff on any judge. Change their minds. Yeah, see, that's what he did. Because I think they have a feeling that Trump's going to
Now
win.
it is harder than ever to buy a home. When Donald Trump was president, interest rates were 2%. Now they are upwards of 10%.
Wasn't that also partially caused by COVID? I'm not a professional on this.
No, it's fine. Yes, of course it was partially COVID, but the point, a lot of it was bounce back. Donald Trump oversaw the greatest economy in American history for people our age. So yes, but to ask the question of deregulation, he got rid of 5 regulations for every 1 new regulation that he put in. Okay. And a lot of it is just paperwork. It's stuff that would drive you insane. Let me actually, so here's a good example. I'm guessing you have student loans, right? FAFSA? No, you don't have student loans?
Should I turn these lights off and just leave the
How are you paying for college?
I mean, I don't have. I have FAFSA money.
Okay, that's a student loan, right?
Well, it's a grant, so I don't have to pay it back.
So I'm paying for your college.
Yeah.
Fine.
Well,
so,
and when I graduate, I'll be paying.
So got it. That's
okay.
fine.
Yeah.
So
my parents are too.
That's fine. Okay.
Well,
that's fine. I'm not insulting. It's fine. It's okay. I hope you learn that. It's OPM. Other
just
people's
make
money.
the dig. Yeah.
No, it's fine. But no. So when you were filling out those forms, was there ever a time where you felt a little exhaustive and it was like a little duplicative?
No, the forms this year were actually really good. They were. For me, it was pretty good.
Does anyone sympathize with the amount of forms you guys have to fill out?
I mean, if anybody here is your supporter, they're gonna agree with you. But yeah.
Well, no, it's just a matter of like observing reality, right? Let me get to the point, which is important. Okay. So the financial crisis comes. They say it was deregulation.
Sure.
So we have thousands of pages. So if you guys want to go buy a home, you know this. You have to sign hundreds of pieces of paper, okay? And your parents can tell you hundreds of pieces of paper. So a small bank, let's say like the Bank of Madison, they have like 15 employees.
Sure.
So when they have to fill out pieces of paper, that is time, energy that they can't afford. JP Morgan is a multi-trillion-dollar company. For them, extra pieces of paper is nothing. So who does regulation hurt more? The local Bank of Madison, Wisconsin, or JP Morgan?
But are you not cherry?
Given that you believe human beings are exacerbating climate change, shouldn't you agree that we
Picking like what regulation is. Like I'm talking about environmental regulation.
I've already told you. So you have a very specific, narrow view of regulation.
No, I'm asking you about a specific type of
I've already told you on the environmental side, but let me be very clear.
That you're
most regulation is
regulation.
you know, most regulation is paperwork, right?
Sure.
You should go read the National Registry. I encourage you guys to do it. It is millions and millions of pages of unnecessary things that have to be notarized, and a lawyer has to sign it, and then it has to be a committee. And small businesses don't have the bandwidth or the money to comply with that, whereas big businesses do, right?
Yeah. How do you suppose we regulate them?
That's like the question, right? Is that the government also sucks and big corporations suck, so what's the solution?
So you'd call for like a complete governmental reform? Would you call for a stronger federal government?
Probably not. No, I think that probably empowering the little against the big through increased competition and entrepreneurialism is probably the best solution.
But so you're still controlling like monopolies and so forth because
no,
big
most
like
monopolies
Amazon.
right now are made possible thanks to the government. So for example, Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, they remain vaccine manufacturers because of the government funding. And the government pumps tons of money in them through NIH funding and vaccine funding. Same could be said for the biggest food companies. They get huge agricultural subsidies. Big oil companies get big oil subsidies. Yeah, I mean, anyway.
She's mad at me this whole time, but she will agree with you
I'll summarize this conversation. I think you're coming at this in good spirit. Is that when you increase the paperwork burden and the needless amount of committees and lawyers, regulations, and accountants, it's harder for the next Elon Musk to found Tesla. It's harder for the next entrepreneur to start the next great company because he has to spend all of his time.
I don't think he's talking down to him. I think he's just the kid's being smug.
On compliance and not on wealth creation or entrepreneurial activity. Donald Trump wants to liberate the American entrepreneur to not be bogged down by unnecessary rules, regulations, and paperwork, and instead be worried about creating jobs and creating a lot of wealth.
Okay.
All right, who are you voting for?
Me?
Yeah.
Probably Kamala.
Why?
Or I'll just write somebody in, but probably Kamala. It's just my views.
What's her greatest accomplishment?
Kamala's greatest accomplishment? I mean, I don't know. I don't.
No. Can you name a single accomplishment?
I don't follow politics that much, to be honest. I couldn't name Trump's.
But then why Kamala? Because you just like instinctively said Kamala.
Because I'm a Democrat. I'm a registered Democrat.
But can you just help me out?
Because
what is
I've seen Project 2025. I don't really agree with a lot of this stuff.
Like what?
I mean,
he does not support Project 2025.
I mean, dude, what do you want me to say? I told you I'm not a professional on this stuff. Anything?
Yeah, I mean, you're voting for Kamala. I'm curious why.
Should I not vote?
I mean, I think you should vote for Trump, obviously.
Oh, why should I vote for Trump?
Well, because you'll be wealthier, happier. There won't be World War III. We'll have a border.
Can you tell me why?
Yeah, absolutely. Because for 4 years we saw that people your age were able to own homes. Your wages went up. We saw
people my age. I'm 18. People my 18 years old buying
correct.
homes.
Yeah, a lot of people 18 actually work and don't go to college, believe it or not. I know that's hard to believe.
It's not hard to believe. I have a brother who's a blue-collar worker. He's an electrician.
Okay, so then you understand it. So blue-collar workers saw their wages go up the most under Donald Trump. Younger voters were able to buy homes under Donald Trump. We saw the greatest economy in American history. Donald Trump had peace across the world. We his first president.
But isn't he peace with who? I mean,
well, Putin did not invade Ukraine. Israel was not at war with Gaza.
No.
It was the first president in 40 years.
But wouldn't you say?
Hold on.
Couldn't
it
you
was
argue
the first
that some
president.
of his policies allowed this to happen?
One second.
I mean,
There's a first president in 40 years where we did not have a new war. Correct? We had new wars under Clinton. New wars under Bush, new wars under Obama, new wars under Biden. But Donald Trump, we had no new wars. Why is that?
I don't know. You're the expert.
Because he was a great president.
Peace treaty, bitch.
We had peace treaties because it was peace through strength. The point is that we don't have to guess about the type of president Donald Trump is.
Are we weaker with like a Democratic leader?
Absolutely.
That's the argument.
They probably measured him.
Interesting.
Well, think about it. Our dollar is worth less. BRICS is ascendant.
That's why Putin was scared to invade Ukraine under Trump, because they measured, and then he measured his dick with Biden. He said, "Nah, bitch, I'm going. I'm fucking out of here."
Putin invades Ukraine. China's wealthier than ever.
Trump. How many pictures did Trump?
So here's my question, Vaughn. Can I ask you a question? When it came down to Putin and Obama having to measure their dicks to see what he was going to do, did you think it was Obama or Big Mike that he had to measure against? Which one? Which Obama? Did he have to go against Barack or Big Mike?
Well, hold on. This is interesting. So pictures are a bad thing?
Well,
wait, hold on.
Why is he so associated with
Interesting.
him?
That's an interesting question. So under
okay,
Obama, Putin takes over Crimea.
Okay.
Under Biden, Putin invades eastern Ukraine. Yet his buddy with Trump, he doesn't take any land of Ukraine. Why is that?
Maybe
because Donald Trump used diplomacy, and he was able to have Vladimir Putin understand that you take a square inch of Ukraine, we will launch rockets into Moscow.
So he has a bigger one than Big Mike because he invaded Crimea.
Would we really do that? Do you think we would do
That's
that?
wild.
It doesn't even matter if you think it or not. What we know is the reality is that hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians did not die under Donald Trump's watch. They did die under Kamala Harris and Joe Biden.
Sure, yeah. I can't argue with that. I mean, I don't.
How many American soldiers died under Trump?
Very few.
Yeah.
How many died under Biden?
A lot, actually.
How many?
13 in one day at the Bagram withdrawal in Afghanistan.
Okay.
Yeah, and not to mention the American hostages killed just the other day.
Where?
In Gaza.
In Gaza?
Yeah, they were American passport holders that were American
Were they
citizens.
like press people?
No, they're American citizens that were at a rock concert, like a rave concert in southern Israel, were kidnapped by Gaza. So we are on the verge of World War III. Our dollar is worth less than ever before. It is harder than ever to buy a home. The economy is worse for everyone in this audience than it has been in over 30 years.
You're saying all this stuff, but again, like I came to you about environmental regulations.
No, for sure, but
stuff. Like this is.
No, I know, but I just want to go back to. I asked you. That's fine. You can vote whoever you want.
This is like led to this. I understand that I've contributed to it.
No. It's totally fine. Obviously, I asked you why you'd vote for Kamala. You gave an answer.
Yeah.
And you have a right.
I don't know. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
I will go home and do research.
Come back and tell me an accomplishment. And
when will you be back next?
I will actually be at the Alabama-Wisconsin game next Saturday. So come find me.
We're gonna get.
Yeah. So if you find I'm gonna go Badgers. If you
we're losing.
If you find a single accomplishment of hers, only if you say you're voting for Trump.
I'll take it.
Yeah. This young lady gets a hat. But if you find an accomplishment, come find me. All right? Thank you so much. Appreciate the dialogue.
Wait, what if I say I'll vote for Trump?
I don't believe you at this point.
Please enjoy the first 3 minutes of my
I want to
movie,
watch
Am I
this.
Racist,
I want to
the
watch this
#1
movie.
documentary of the decade. Take a look.
Let's see. Who do you guys like to watch? Will, you like to watch, what's the one guy's names? There we go. Oh, dude, how about this, right? So, check this out. This is who is endorsing Donald Trump. Look at this, right? This is who right now is endorsing Trump. Cardi B, right? Cardi B has defended herself after a video resurfaced of her saying she drugged and robbed men who wanted to have sex with her while she worked at a strip club before finding fame. The rapper faced criticism after the 3-year-old Instagram live video recirculated. Whether or not they were poor at the time, I did what I had to do to survive. I never claimed to be perfect or come from a perfect world. Bitch, you shouldn't be fucking endorsing no president. What is wrong? Why do they get these fucking degenerates to fucking endorse them?
Let me tell you something. When I be complaining about food prices, and y'all must be like, ain't you rich? Why you complaining about lettuce? Why you complaining about this? That just goes to show me when you become successful, when you have money, you're gonna go broke soon because y'all not budgeting. I get a summary of the money that's being spent in my home every week. So when I'm starting to see that like groceries is like tripling up, it's like, hey, yo, what the f going on? I want to see for myself what the shit is being spent on. And like when I go to the supermarket.
No, her, yeah, she endorsed Kamala. That's what I'm saying. Why does Kamala want degenerate broads like this fucking endorsing them or endorsing her? I don't get it.
Like I went to a supermarket, I'm seeing that everything tripled up. That like lettuce was like $2 a couple of months ago, and now it's like $7. Of course, I'm gonna say something.
No, I didn't see that. That's wild.
That
I
shit
can't
is
believe
crazy. I could only imagine what middle class people or people in the hood is thinking. So yes, I'm going to say something. And I have a big platform, so I do want anybody that's responsible of these prices to put that shit down. They're gonna see my shit, they might put it down.
A few years later.
Mind you, and this is why I said this is why I'm telling y'all, I'm not this year. Don't ask me. I don't give the resume that they send. I'm not endorsing no presidents no more. Cause how is there $100 million budget cut in New York City for schools, library, police safety, and sanitation? Yeah, Joe Biden's talking about like, yeah, we could fund 2 wars. We could fund 2 wars. Mom's talking about we don't got it, but we got it. Like we're the greatest nation. No, we're not. We're going through this right now.
Several months later.
Hold on. How you guys doing tonight? How you guys doing tonight? Are we ready to make history?
Fucking Cardi B.
Ready to make history?
She's a degenerate, bro.
Are we ready to change these 4 years? No. Are we ready to change the next 8 years? Because we're going to make sure we have Kamala Harris in office for 8 years.
Look at that money.
Thank you.
They said the teleprompter broke.
Yeah, she was just standing up
They
there.
had to give her a phone.
That money will make you.
What are they sending?
Look what that money.
Here's $100 million, Cardi B. Go ahead and change your mind. Oh well, actually,
100 is crazy.
Kamala. I think maybe 1 million. We don't know how
I
much.
think they gave her more than 1 million.
They playing with checks.
She got.
They playing with checks.
No,
you know,
5.
they got the Alphabet Gang money,
They
the
said she had a
Google
bill.
money.
They said she had a bill.
They got how much?
They said Kamala Harris campaign raised $1 billion in 100 days.
Well, see, so they got it. 100. That's 10% of that. Is that even?
They ain't give her that much.
She probably got 10.
Beyonce got like 10. So
She probably got
like
like
5.
10,
She got like 5.
8.
Well, that's a nice check.
I said like 5.
How much she get a show? Not that.
How much you think Meg got? She probably got more than Meg for sure.
Oh, Meg probably got.
But they all probably got more than they get for doing a show. To do an endorsement.
Well, Meg did a show.
She did do a show, so she probably got extra a lot.
Wow. Typical black people.
But I don't think this will sway anyone that's already
ain't black.
voting for Trump.
Well, whatever.
You see somebody who's voting for Trump go see this and be like, you know what? Never mind.
She's Latino.
Hell no.
She considered black, though.
But maybe someone in the middle. I don't know.
I guess she's about as black as Kamala.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, she's part of the community. She's part of the culture.
I say she's more than Kamala. Who can't
Oh,
put
you're
that
crazy.
on the
Whatever.
same
Doesn't matter.
scale.
Doesn't matter. Typical. You know the problem, and you still gonna keep. It's crabs in a bucket.
Gotta keep it cool, man.
She was talking about the people in the hood and the middle class and turn around and, well, I can't help y'all. You know,
She said in her speech, "Oh, Kamala better not lie to my face," and she just straight up lied to her face. I'm not endorsing no more political candidate. You a liar. Look what that money makeup do.
So, do she understand, like, Kamala was, like, the last person?
Oh, she understands.
No,
I
she
don't
doesn't.
think
She clearly
don't.
doesn't. I bet she couldn't pass a civics test right now.
But I mean, what she was saying was common sense. I mean, a couple on the live and what she was saying and how she wasn't going to endorse anybody. That was common sense.
It's interesting that people will complain about the economy and then endorse the candidate who is a part of the presidential campaign or the ones that raised the prices.
So she just
damn, that was hard to get out. I'm struggling.
She just complained about Joe Biden. So y'all don't think she knows? She
Brother, no, like you gonna complain about Joe Biden economy prices that elect his VP who praised the economy.
It goes out the door when you want to support another woman. You know, that goes out the door. She just
it doesn't matter. You know.
That doesn't matter no more. She just wants to support.
I asked somebody one time. I was like, so if Trump and Kamala had opposite policies, like they swapped them all, would you still vote for Kamala over Trump? They say yes. So well, it doesn't matter.
It's about the character.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote this year. I wasn't. But Kamala
Send me some money.
Harris joining the race, she changed my mind completely.
No, she didn't.
I did not have faith on any candidates until she joined the race and said the things that I wanted to hear, that I want to see next in this country.
Here's one thing you need
What does she say? She doesn't say
to
anything.
do before buying anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch this first. Watch this.
All right? I believe in every word that comes out of her mouth. She's passionate, she's compassionate, she shows empathy, and most of all, she is not delusional. Yeah.
What a speech.
Kamala recognized
So
that this country
bad.
is at risk, that the economy needs to get stronger, that the cost of food and the cost of living is too high. Damn, it's even high for me.
She doesn't realize that Joe Biden and them are, and she's in. I don't get it. Whatever.
I believe her when she says, under her, buying eggs and milk won't break the bank. Because she's gonna pass a ban on price gouging on groceries. And she told me that in my face. So she better not lie to me in my face. Yeah. I believe her when she says she will make housing more affordable by providing Americans with $25,000 in down payment assistance. Yeah.
Yo, she's at a Kamala rally. This chick is fucking hard R, bro.
Hold on. I got more.
Oh, man.
Kamala.
Yeah. Yeah, she's promising a lot. Did you hear what Donald Trump said the other day? Y'all heard what he said?
What up, Roland?
All right, I'm gonna tell you right now. Let me drink my water.
It's probably Tony Hinchcliffe's joke. Yeah. He didn't say
Yeah,
it.
stay hydrated.
I have a comment on that.
He said he's gonna protect women whether they like it or not. He
He was
said
talking when it
he's
comes to
going to
illegal
protect women
immigrants.
whether they like it or not. I'm repeating it.
Protect?
Donnie Dunk, please. Protection for women, especially if we're talking about maternal and mental health care, is in telling them what to do with their bodies.
She's slow.
It's supporting them and giving them the care
She doesn't even know what she's saying.
they need for what they choose to do with their bodies. I don't play that.
It's messed up for me to say this.
I wanted to say something, but I'm not going to say it. Say it, bro. I want to hear it.
So personal country safety, world safety against.
So these fucking Democrats have the audacity to say, oh, Trump said this, Trump said that. Meanwhile, this bitch has stated that she drugged and fucking robbed men when she worked at a strip club. And this is the type of people that you want endorsing you? People like this? Really? People like Megan Thee Stallion fucking twerking on stage at a political rally? People talk about Tony Hinchcliffe telling a fucking joke. That's a fucking joke. Yeah, no shit. That's what he said, and they just take this shit out of context. Dude, this is a joke. What Tony Hinchcliffe said is nothing compared to what she's saying, compared to Megan Thee Stallion twerking on stage. None of it. Yo, that shit is so funny that he made that video, bro. Like, this is a fucking joke. This is what the news reporter should be reporting on. Like, this shit is crazy.
It's other enemies that goes out the window.
She said, the
guess so.
economy's bad, the country's not safe, but I'm going to vote for the person who's part of the administration to where everything
And
got
she
to that
admitted it.
point.
And signed off and said, I'm not going to
She
do
said
nothing.
to my face, she going to fix it, so she better not lie to my face.
So y'all can't tell me these niggas
He
don't
said
know.
she's promising a lot.
Yeah, that's why I know she got that wire.
Joe Biden promised
He said she
a lot.
promising a lot.
Joe Biden promised a lot. Did things get
Send
as
that
good?
money through
That
the
was so funny when
invoice.
she said that. She said she's promising a lot. Yeah, she promising a lot. Versus
Yo,
somebody
that
who we
shit
see
was
what
so
they can
funny
do.
when he met.
Send that
But
money
we saw what she
through
could
the
do too as the
invoice.
vice president. And here we are.
They had to make the
Okay.
words big for dumb it down a little bit. I'm just kidding.
See, hey,
I'm just kidding, Cardi.
now when you be in this
I
bitch.
was just kidding.
I said this. I don't want to hear none of that shit.
I was just kidding, bro.
Nah, this just send that money through the invoice. This what this look like to me.
We're 4 days out. Who here has already voted?
Before they even.
Oh my goodness, that's great. Thank you.
Kamala do look good for her age, though, y'all. We can't say that, man. You know, I seen somebody try to say she look ugly, man.
I remember whenever somebody said that on here, everybody said, "Oh no, nobody said that."
Teleprompter.
1 second, guys. 1 second.
I have something to say.
1 second, guys. 1 second.
This is pathetic.
Okay. So I don't take lightly the call.
What?
Sorry, guys. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous, guys. I've been waiting for this moment this whole life. My whole life.
This whole life. My whole life.
She's like slow, dude.
I need patience over here. Patience, where are you, girl? I need patience over here.
This is bad.
This is
Hold on.
This is a joke. This is a fucking joke.
How you guys doing tonight? How you guys doing tonight? Are we ready to make history?
This called to be. She should start doing that. They would start vibing with it. If you see me, no. Hey, she read that though.
You know,
she read that.
I wonder why people see them read scripts and read teleprompters and then think their endorsement's real. Like she couldn't even get up there
Roland, get
and tell
it.
you why she wants
No,
Kamala
yeah, she
to be
could have started
president
off. We
without
could
the
have started
script.
off like, okay, I'm up there, no teleprompter.
Oh, I don't need
But look, y'all, man, we know what's at
I don't
stake in
need
this
a
election.
teleprompter.
Joe Biden, he wasn't the one. They just threw Kamala up there. She didn't even, go through any process.
process. This isn't right.
Go
and you
on
just
and
start
on.
ranting about.
Yeah, what if she gets pregnant,
She
though?
ranted about Joe Biden online.
She did. It's
easy to rant about that.
It is because it's the truth. That shows it's not genuine, like he said though. Because if it was genuine, you would have things in your head, reasons as to why you're here to say
Well, I
these
got
things.
a bunch of reasons.
I got hella reasons.
Black voters when it comes to Kamala Harris in both of those states. Why do you say there are warning signs?
Why are there warning signs? Well, I'll tell you why they're warning signs. Let's take a look here. This is Democrat versus Donald Trump among African-American voters in Georgia and North Carolina average.
Tyler.
You go back to November of 2020. Look at that. Joe Biden carried him by 80 points. Right now, Kamala Harris on average in our CNN polls has a lead of just 65 points. If Donald Trump ends up winning in Georgia and North Carolina, it could be because Kamala Harris struggled with black voters in the Southeast, just as we've seen throughout the national polling as well, Erica.
This is a toss-up election. Let's go inside Georgia first in terms of some of the coalition groups here. Independent voters, and again, I just want to say, we're comparing likely voters in a poll and to what actually happened with voters in the 2020 exit polls. These are two different universes, but instructive. Among independent voters in our poll, Trump has a 7-point advantage in Georgia. In Georgia in 2020, Biden won independent voters by 9 points. So that's a potential warning sign there for Harris. Black voters in Georgia in our poll, 71% percentage point advantage over Trump for Harris. That's about where Biden was. He was at 77 points in the exit polls in terms of his advantage over Trump. White non-college voters down in Georgia, Trump has a 66 percentage point advantage in our poll. That is his base. We should expect it. It's actually even bigger than his advantage was in Georgia in the exit polls, but in that range. In North Carolina, let's look at these same groups here. Among independent voters, Harris has a 4-point advantage over Trump in our poll. That's where Biden was with independent voters in the exit polls in 2020. Remember, he lost North Carolina in 2020 by a narrow margin. Black voters, 59 percentage point advantage. This is a huge potential warning sign. In the exit polls, Biden won black vote in North Carolina by 85 percentage points. Harris, this is something she's going to want to watch for in the closing days. And then you see the white non-college here. This is perhaps a little bit of diminishment of support among Trump's base than he had 4 years ago.
Why they have to show white non-collegiate voters? Yeah, why they have to show that?
Because it's a stat. It's a major stat.
But
I guess it's like
a demographic.
Blue collar jobs.
Yeah.
So
it's typically
trying to represent.
Yeah.
But is they trying to like?
Did they have the middle class argument that Trump is against the middle class or whatever, Kamala's for it, but then all the middle class people, white non-college voters.
But why they just gonna just put white voters?
Because it's like I don't know. They're trying to break down they're trying to break it down.
So why they couldn't put black?
Man, they could have.
They could have did the same thing with the black.
I was thinking that. I mean,
and the independent. So why?
I don't think they'll do that with black because it's too many non-college. It'll make black people look bad.
No.
I'm being a hundred.
To be fair,
I'm being a hundred.
This looks very.
Yeah, it does look bad because
Can this make this look kind of like as a
But
viewer?
that doesn't necessarily make you look bad though, because just because you went to college, it's not a bad thing.
Say if I'm not informed, they're gonna look at this like on some racist stuff.
Well, not racist. They're gonna look at it just like
non-college student. Like
I mean, but we've been seeing this.
They trying to say these uneducated white people.
No. But that's not the thing. It's not calling them uneducated. It's the fact that that's a group of people. And they've been breaking this down. Like we've seen this. We've seen them say white non-college like 20 times.
Yeah.
We see this shit all the time.
But I'm just saying, why they?
I always think that though. I don't know why they.
Why they don't put the black?
Because black's big knockout. Go to college. Ain't that big of a spot?
That's a group. That's a group. Why would they show a group?
It wouldn't show how many black people didn't go to college. You're right. Yeah, it's just showing like I guess he's saying that if a regular person watches this, they're gonna be like, oh, I mean, those are non-college people voting for Trump.
Like why they couldn't just show all groups?
So you think college makes you smart?
No, I'm just saying. But they just like
when you look at this, it's just like
weird. It is weird. I mean, I think that.
I'm trying to trip. Let me know I'm tripping or not.
Who knows?
It's just breaking down the demographic because in that specific poll, they're highlighting the differences. This is where Harris is doing bad. This is where Joe Biden did good. Hold on. So in the other one, Biden did better with that group of people. So they're saying with this specific group of people, they are doing way worse with Harris. They're just highlighting that.
He just thinks it's weird that they're saying
why they just couldn't show all
because
of them?
it's a different stat. It's two different stats.
They couldn't show the different stats
the college white people we know they're going to Princeton and all these schools and they voting left.
We don't know all of them.
No, I know, but we know the college is impact.
I don't even know how they get that stat. Did you go to college, buddy?
That's easy
it's
to get
just
that
based
stat.
on the people they poll.
Because if you look at the white college vote, a lot of them are voting for Harris.
I didn't show that. That's what I'm saying. They could have showed us that. I just want to see all of it. Why are we showing, that's weird to me.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's worth it. It's worth how slow it is.
How you guys doing? I'm nervous. I'm excited. What's up, y'all?
This is terrible.
1 second, guys. 1 second.
This is terrible. This is so bad. You guys, this is so bad.
Okay. So I don't take lightly the call. Sorry, guys. I'm a little nervous.
She just doesn't know what to say because she doesn't have her script in front of her. This is terrible. This looks so bad. That's Cardi B, bro. This just looks so bad.
I'm a little nervous, guys. I've been waiting for this moment this whole life. My whole life.
He can't talk good at all.
I need patience over here. Patience, where are you, girl? I need patience over here.
Nobody knows what she's talking about. She's making herself look dumb.
Today, we're checking out Once
Oh,
Human.
man.
It's an open world survival game set in a supernatural
Hold on. How you guys doing tonight?
You already asked him that like 100 times. Get to talking,
How you guys doing
dumbass.
tonight? Are we ready to make history?
This is such a bad look for the Democrats, and I don't know how anyone can't see it.
Are we ready to make history? Are we ready to change these 4 years? No. Are we ready to change the next 8 years? Because we're going to make sure we have Kamala Harris in office for 8
Terrible.
years. Thank you. All right.
And watch, when even though she has the words in front of her, she can't even say it properly. She can't talk for shit. Why do you want people like this representing you? This is what's wrong with the Democrats.
Vice President Kamala Harris, thank you for having me. I do not take lightly the call to show up, the call to speak up, the call to deliver a message that's been on my heart for a hot minute now.
What she's saying are things that should be said from the heart, and she's reading a fucking script.
Now, I took my time writing this speech, so I'm gonna make sure I deliver it right. Because I got something I've been wanting to say for a long time.
You didn't write this speech, and you guys will tell that she didn't write this speech here in a
I've
minute.
been saying it on Twitter, on my Instagram, and I'm ready to tell it to you now. Y'all ready to listen? All right, now. All right. Just like Kamala Harris, I too have been the underdog. I've been underestimated. My success belittled and
I wonder if she's been under investigation for drugging and robbing people.
discredited. Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. Women have to work 10 times harder, perform 10 times better, and still people question us how we got to the top. They be like, how she got there? Hold on. Let me
That's a lie.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. I can't stand a bully.
Oh, like when you drugged and robbed people? Is this what you're talking about?
But just like Kamala, I always stand up to one. All the time, I'm ready for them. Yeah. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. I wasn't gonna vote this year. I wasn't. But Kamala Harris joining the race, she changed my mind completely. I did not have faith on any candidates until she joined the race and said the things that I wanted to hear, that I want to see next in this country. All right? I believe in every word that comes out of her mouth. She's passionate, she's compassionate, she shows empathy, and most of all, she is not delusional.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. Kamala recognized that this country is at risk, that the economy needs to get stronger, that the cost of food and the cost of living is too high. Damn, it's even high for me. I believe her when she says, under her, buying eggs and milk won't break the bank, because she's gonna pass a ban on price gouging on groceries. And she told me that in my face. So she better not lie to me in my face. Yeah. I believe her when she says she will make housing more affordable by providing Americans with $25,000 in down payment assistance.
Doesn't matter what we in World War III.
Yeah. Hold on. I got more.
Huh?
Hmm?
Yeah. Yeah, she's promising a lot. And I believe her when she says she will provide a tax cut to 100 million middle-class Americans. That's a lot of Americans. And that includes $6,000 for parents in the first year of child's life. Y'all remember when they used to do that? Y'all remember when this country used to do that? Yeah. And speaking of healthcare, let's talk about it. Let's talk about healthcare. Did you hear what Donald Trump said the other day? Y'all heard what he said? All right, I'm gonna tell you right now. Let me drink my water. Yeah, stay hydrated. He said he's gonna protect women whether they like it or not. He said he's gonna protect women whether they like it or not. I'm repeating it. Donnie Dunk, please. Protection for women, especially if we're talking about maternal and mental health care, is in telling them what to do with their bodies. It's supporting them and giving them the care they need for what they choose to do with their bodies. I don't play that. People like Donald Trump don't believe women deserve rights. And when those rights are taken away, they are nowhere to be found. When a mother's going through postpartum, he's not there to hold her hand. When a child
Neither is Kamala Harris, you freaking dum-dum.
is in foster care or in a shelter because their mother is not mentally stable or financially stable to take care of them, they're not there. The people outside planning, they're not there. They're all gone. Those people outside Planned Parenthood screaming at women's faces, they don't be there when women go through stuff. They don't. And everything is possible. Shout out to the single moms out there, but it's hard. Trump says he's going to protect women whether they like it or not. Well, if his definition of protection is not the freedom of choice,
This is
if his
terrible.
definition of protection is making sure our daughters have fewer rights than our mothers, then I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it.
What's wrong with this lady?
We all knew Trump was a hustler. But hustling women out of, and I'm a hustler too, yeah. But hustling women out of their rights to their body is nasty work.
You didn't like that.
Hustling Americans out of their hard-earned money by selling Trump watches, Trump sneakers, and Trump Bibles. By the way, the watches is $100,000. Yeah.
That's called capitalism, you fucking dingbat. What is this chick fucking, what are you, slow?
China, another country he discredited, is nasty too. Let me ask you a question. Wait, is Milwaukee in the building? Is Wisconsin in the building? Yeah. Let me ask you this question. Do we really trust this man with our economy?
Our economy was better.
A man who cares only about making himself rich and cutting taxes for his billionaire friends. I don't even get a tax cut. Today is your wallet. Tomorrow, he'll be conning you out of your health care rights. And that's a fact. I want you to hear that again. Today, he's hustling you with the, oh, buy my sneakers. Tomorrow is going to be your health care rights. He's going to take it away from you. He's going to snatch it. Donald Trump talks about how he has a concept of a plan, but America, the only concept of a plan he has is a plan to hustle you. Yeah. Because we know what he's really setting us for. He's selling more than watches and sneakers. He's selling us bigotry, misogyny, division, chaos, and confusion. He wants us to hate each other. And it's gonna cost you your money, equal opportunity, affordable health care, and any rights you thought you had for your body.
Dick is a joke.
He gonna take it from you. Listen to me. He gonna take it.
Oh, just
Thank
like...
you, I love you too. I'm not giving Donald Trump a second chance. Nope. I'm not taking any chances with my future, and I'm damn sure and taking no chances with the future of my children. All three of them. All three of them. I'm not giving him the chance. You're not giving him the chance. Yeah. I'm with Kamala. I believe in her. And America, I believe in you to turn out on Tuesday. Turn out and turn up on Tuesday. Turn the page and let's win this thing.
What a joke.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage elementary school teacher Adrian Culver.
What a joke. That's so sad. That is fucking sad, dude. Yeah, you see my dog Peanut got killed, you guys? I didn't see this one.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical.
That's wild.
What's up, guys? We're here at the Trump house with the massive 4-story Trump sign outside. Today, we're gonna see what the story is behind one of the most iconic signs in all of Florida. Let's go. Okay, so this is the back of the house. We're gonna go up and just give the door a knock here. See if we can talk to the owner.
What's up, chat? How we doing tonight?
Hey, man. Hey, what's going on? Is this Marvin?
Marvin P.
Great Marvin I've heard about. Hey, you have one of the most famous houses.
Yeah, Benny Johnson.
I would love to see it. Can I come in?
Yeah, come on in, man.
We got a greeting party right here. The president's sitting here waiting.
Yeah, we got him. He kind of scares a few people every once in a while. In case someone wants to break in, we got Trump waiting on you. And all.
This is great, man. This is beautiful.
Got a little more pool out here, a little hot tub.
Hey, what a beauty. People honking, right?
Yeah. We got an audience out here all the time. People come in, want to take the picture, and you got all kind of people saying all kind of things, cheering Trump on for 2024.
Yeah. I heard it the other day. I stopped by on the road, and people were like yelling. The guy was like from Spain. He was like, Trump, Trump, Trump. How many stories is this sign?
We got a few. We got 4 stories.
That is a monster sign.
That's probably one of 25 signs that has hung up there. Yeah, we put up 2. So might as well have 3 signs hanging up and try to let everybody get a little bit of enjoyment.
That's wild.
So they're fining you for this?
$50 a day.
I thought this was America.
It is America. So we're fighting it, and I've got attorneys, and go to battle every day.
That's incredible. What's the, when did the signs first go up?
The sign went up in February of 2020, just a single Trump 2020 sign, and we've had them up. We've never taken them down. The wind's taking them down, but we go right back up within the following few days. I've always got a backup in the closet waiting.
How quickly were you able to get this one up after the assassination attempt?
I had it up 3 days later. I have a big crew out of Valdosta, Georgia.
And you even heard from the Trump family about these signs.
A few weeks ago, I was on the phone, and Laura Trump called me and was just appreciating me. Put the sign up, said that Donald was very happy with it. It had increased their campaign in Florida. It had helped them out tremendously. So we considered, we've done Donald Trump a favor, which we're trying to do anyway. And then that day, he's reelected. We will drop a new sign, so everybody get prepared. I've got a big monstrous one coming.
Let's go.
What is that one going to say?
It's going to say, who's your daddy, Trump? Yeah, 2025,
What is it that inspired this? Obviously, your love of the president.
Somebody was tearing down my little small Trump signs down. And then I have a lady friend, and she was good friends with Matt Gaetz, and she supported me and said, do not take them down. We're going to fight this. Her name was Suzanne Harris. And she's been big in helping me and fighting the battle, and I greatly appreciate her. They're 10 foot by 40 foot.
I mean, it's monstrous.
Yeah.
It's a huge. I mean, it's hard to really describe. It's like a
huge,
much larger than a billboard you'd see on the side of a highway.
I've had a plane fly by with me in it, and I've got to see it. It looks huge from the sky. So maybe Delta customers are getting to see our sign.
You're viral on TikTok.
Oh yeah, I'm viral on TikTok. We got a few million hits every once in a while.
Yeah.
And, even my neighbor's done very well next to me over here. I think she got 12 million hits from me sitting on the front porch drinking my drink, which made me feel real damn good.
You sit out and just have your drink.
Yeah, have a drink.
Have your drink and look at a glorious sign.
Everybody's hollering, and we're just having a great time. Yeah.
There's nobody putting up a 4-foot story tall Kamala sign.
No, don't see that nowhere. And I don't believe Kamala can put up very much, I believe she's been on her knees quite a bit,
Going down.
They have an
I think the clock's about to turn back in 10 minutes.
And I had one person complain, a restaurant guy down in Seaside complained and got the word out and went to start to fight me. And I just said, look, one person's not going to take me down. And I'll fight the whole town if I have to, and which is what I'm already doing. I spent thousands of dollars with lawyers, but like I said, the battle's real. And if we let them take us down, then we'll all go down. And we will be standing for nothing.
Look at that. Trump can throw a pool party here.
Welcome back,
for
Alicia.
election night. So is this a guest bedroom? You have to walk by Trump.
Yes, I got plenty of kids, so I mean,
Okay, you got to walk by. You got to walk by Big Daddy to get into the guest bedroom.
That's it.
Can we see the rest of the place?
Oh yeah, we got a little T5 blazer.
Oh, yeah.
And a few TikToks.
Oh man,
that's beautiful.
Beauty. Talk about making America great again. Make these cars.
How you doing, Cleisha?
Yeah, I
How was your
think
games?
when the EMP blast happens,
That
this
is
car
beautiful.
will be fine. No electronics. You'll be able to run clean.
This dude has the biggest Trump signs in America.
Dominate the Rift with Opera GX.
I see you got some Trump.
Yeah, I'll show you. Look.
People come in, want to take the picture, and
Watch.
you got all kind of people saying all kind of things, cheering Trump on for 2024.
Yeah. I heard it the other day. I stopped by on the road, and people were like yelling. The guy was like from Spain. He was like, Trump, Trump, Trump. How many stories is this sign?
We got a few. We got 4 stories.
That is a monster sign.
And that's probably one of 25 signs that has hung up there. Yeah, we got. We put up 2. Sometimes we'll have 3 signs hanging up, and try to let everybody get a little bit of enjoyment.
Wild.
Again. Yeah, I think when the EMP blast happens, this car will be fine. No electronics. You'll be able to run clean.
That's sweet.
I see you got some Trump flags here in the corner, just in case.
We go to the beach on the 4th of July. We hang all the flags. Everybody knows who we are down here. And it gets you a free drink every once in a while. Hey, Paige, how you doing? Got Billy Johnson.
Hey, what's going on? We're just evacuated from Tampa, rolling through. Thought we might as well say hi. The owner of the most famous house in Florida this side of Mar-a-Lago. And I'm sure a sign like that couldn't go up without your blessing.
That's right. I should paint that wave red.
Red wave?
Yeah, the red wave. We're going to paint that red on November the 5th. Come on, we're getting a view where I go out and have my drink in there.
There you go. There's a great view right there. Look at that one. That's great. So you just sit right here, have a cocktail, look up at the most iconic image maybe ever taken of an American president. What a beautiful kitchen. This is just great. Is this your doing? Did we just do a design?
It was already designed as it was being remote.
Gorgeous design.
Built, and so
And the floors came out of a barn, and the beams out of a barn, and all been in Georgia. Go figure. We're Georgia people, and go Dogs.
Can we see what it looks like from the top of the sign?
Yeah, come on.
All right.
Come on, man.
You get the big boy sign. That's pretty sweet.
Look at you get people stopping, taking selfies. Look at it.
They're all across the street.
Everyone's always stopping, taking selfies. You see like a line of them. This is great. Wow. It's hard to capture exactly how massive the sign is until you get up close. So, thanks for answering the door for us.
Oh yeah.
What a beautiful view of the
man.
beautiful view of the Gulf and everything.
Oh yeah. We've got 4 kids, and all.
Congratulations, 4 kids, man. That's how you actually save the country.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, what a view. Just beautiful. Just spectacular.
How we doing?
Everyone's stopping, taking photos. It's crazy. So many people, it's clear that you're very successful and you have a beautiful family. Many people would say, in your position, I don't want the smoke. I don't want the heat. There's no reason to hang up a giant sign. It's going to be a headache. It's going to be a pain in the ass. But you say no. What is it in you that makes you say no?
I grew up, my parents were school teachers, and I had 4 brothers and sisters, and we were all raised correctly. And then, like my daddy always told me to fight, and for what you thought it was right. And this is right. This is America. And this is 85% of America feel this way. We just have stuff that's which we don't believe in anymore. And it's time we made a change, and we're doing it now. And it might take 2 or 3 more years for Trump running things and getting things back right. It's just not about the business. It's about the fundamentals of life, what you believe in and what you stand for. And my wife and I stand for that. Our kids believe in it. And we're going to get there, guys, with or without you, because there's that many people that really believe in America the Beautiful.
That's right.
And gonna do it, man. Gonna do it.
Yeah, your dad said fight, fight like Trump. No wonder you have the image up.
Yeah.
Where were you when you saw the assassination attempt?
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual. That's not good.
I'd like to disagree with you about college as a scam.
Okay.
Just because there's 50% of people.
I was, Paige and I were getting ready to go out.
Yep.
And when I standing back up, Trump's been shot. He's back up. He's going
Whoa.
again. No big deal. He's going to make it. Getting ready to hang more signs on on election night, and so people come by on Wednesday morning, they'll know who their daddy is. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
You're gonna let him hang the "Who's your daddy" sign? Okay. So
Call you
that
later.
sign ain't never coming down.
Well, that sign there will come down, but it's always going to be a sign hanging here.
Yeah, you gotta
until
get like the
down hit
more
ground.
expensive one, I
So,
guess.
here we go. We'll have American flag, you know.
Well, yeah, I'll call you back.
And this is the Trump house.
The Trump house. That's right. Well, it is. It very much is. It very much is the Trump
My
house.
goal is to get Donald to come spend the night here at the Trump Hotel.
That's
the Trump TV Hotel.
Maybe he can do the pose right outside, right? Raise the fist.
Marvin, thank you for having us at the house.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
It was incredible. This is amazing. Got Trump right over the back there.
Background, man. Holding the fort now while we're not here.
They're never gonna get that sign down, are
Oh,
they?
no, hell no. My sign is staying. You come back here when I'm 80 years old, damn thing will be saying Trump. You know what I'm saying? Best president in the United States forever.
This has been incredible, man.
Yeah, man. Great day. And thank you very much for just coming, and we appreciate your time. Thank you.
That's cool.
Thank you, Marvin. All right. Fight, fight, fight.
Yeah, that
See
was
you,
cool.
buddy. What a king. What an
That was pretty cool. Oh, dude, Fetterman was on Rogan. It's so hard to hear him talk.
Become president. He's the one who uses pen, reverse the previous President Trump's border policies, and enabled 11 million illegals in this country with taxpayers' incentives and funding for factoring cities and cost crime range. You should be responsible. You should not even run for Congress because you are part of that regime who caused this problem. Now you offer bigger government solution, more money. You don't need more money. You need to use his pen to reverse
30 seconds,
his
Ms.
executive
Goodlander.
orders.
30 seconds.
Again, my opponent is focused on me. I am focused on the voters and on actual solutions that I believe Congress can and must advance. And one of those solutions, Adam, is the bipartisan, comprehensive immigration reform and border security bill that would allow us to make the critically needed updates to our system. This is a worldview that my opponent has embraced. She believes that we should give a break to the wealthiest and the biggest corporations and hope for the best, hope that the results will trickle down to hardworking people. I take a very different approach. I believe that the middle class deserves a tax cut, and I believe that we will do a lot for this country by ensuring that we don't continue this disastrous
Ms.
tax
Goodlander.
policy.
Ms. Tong-Williams.
You are wealthy. You are worth $20 million to $30 million. How do you know about regular people suffering? Do you go shopping?
Dad robbers.
Go to Walmart, buy food. I talk to those people. And you pretend to be renter in Nashua a few months ago, moved back to run for this open seat with millions of dollars from Washington, D.C. insiders. And the millions of dollars. I don't have money to run a TV ad. And you pretend you are poor, complain rent is so high. You couldn't save that apartment for other people to rent in Nashua. Just go back to your $2 million home in Portsmouth. Please don't say that because you do not understand regular people's concern. People cry in my arms on District 2.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I got to tell you guys, Democrats are having a hard time defending the disastrous policies of the Biden administration. Okay, this is why you have some Democrats coming out and saying, you know what? I cannot say with a straight face that I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris, endorse Kamala Harris, or be associated with Kamala Harris because her policies, the policies of the Biden administration, have been an absolute disaster. And this is negatively affecting Democrats in down ballot races, which is something that we should pay attention to, okay? Because it's not just important for Trump to be elected president, but we also have to take back the Senate and keep the House. If we win both chambers of Congress and the White House, that will be the best case scenario for Trump to actually get the things accomplished that he wants to get done, okay? And that is why it's important to pay attention to some of these races, which is why I played that clip of Miss Willie Tang Williams, who is a Republican that speaks a little bit of broken English, okay? But she is a Republican that escaped communism in China. She came to America legally, okay? And she was on stage schooling Miss Maggie Goodlander, who is the wife of Jake Sullivan, who works for the Biden administration, okay? And, you know, the liberals are making fun of Miss Lily Tang Williams for her broken English, but you know, hey, at least she knows English, okay? At least she can speak it, okay? I mean, I can't really say that about a lot of the illegals that Democrats have let into the country who only know Spanish and they have no interest whatsoever in learning English, okay? So liberals, once again, are showing us that they're not very tolerant, they're not very loving, and they're not very liberal.
No, I've never played Rainbow Six. Is it fun?
But yeah, that race is a congressional race in New Hampshire. And again, those are the type of races.
See, I like this Jose. This Jose is way better.
That we should pay attention to and be aware of, because those type of races are what's going to determine the balance of power and how much Trump is actually going to be able to get done. So with that being said, that takes me to this clip here of Joe Rogan having a conversation with John Fetterman about the illegal immigration problem, in which Joe Rogan is going to school John Fetterman on the so-called
Don't get him started, Will. Will, he's been being good. Don't get him going.
And how that would not solve illegal immigration, right? This is one of the biggest psyops that the Democrats have put out here, which is this idea that this bipartisan border bill legislation is going to solve all the problems, and that it is Trump's fault that the border is broken, right? When it's really the fault of the Biden-Harris administration due to them repealing Trump's executive orders that he put in place to help secure the border. And we don't necessarily need legislation in order to secure the border. Now, I definitely think that we need something in order to make it permanent, but Democrats have no interest in actually securing the border as much as they have an interest in normalizing illegal immigration, which is what Joe Rogan is going to point out here. So while
the Ravens has got that receiver, though, Deontay Johnson. I have him on my fantasy team. He's actually pretty good. Let me see. Yeah, they I think that's who it is. Yeah, Deontay Johnson. He's solid. He's a good player.
Without further ado, let's get it. Wow. Immigration has remade Texas, says sitting Democrat Senator John Fetterman, who basically just conceded every point that Joe Rogan made in that segment, in which Joe Rogan correctly points out that the so-called bipartisan border legislation that was secretly negotiated by Joe Biden and 3 senators, including a traitor or 2 from the GOP, yeah, I mean, that was a Trojan horse. It's a Trojan horse to normalize illegal immigration, to allow a certain amount of illegals into the country, and to say, well, we fixed the problem because technically they're not here illegally, right? Technically, they're here legally, so therefore we don't have an illegal immigration problem. Although the actual real problem is that you're letting too many people into this country, a lot of whom are not thoroughly vetted, because the Biden-Harris administration doesn't have the ability to thoroughly vet these individuals, which is something that Bill Clinton admitted out loud on the campaign trail. That's the problem, and it is remaking this country in ways that are not good for the country. As Trump says, the rest of the world is basically treating this country like a garbage can, right? Where they're just letting all of the people that, you know, they really don't want into the country, right? They're just saying, hey, go to the United States of America. Just go there, right? You don't need to be here, okay? All of these criminals from Venezuela, they're now operating in the United States of America, and we're seeing the consequences of that,
Bro,
right?
Literally, they emptied their country out here.
This is something that American people are living with. This is the reality of what is happening, and it benefits Democrats electorally because of the fact that these illegals are counted as a part of the census. So when it comes around to the House seats, these states like New York and California that have a large amount of illegals, at least in the short term, will benefit due to having illegals be counted as a part of their population, right? And in the long term, what they really want to do is they want the illegals that are in the red states to be granted amnesty so they can stay, and then given a pathway to citizenship, which means that they will eventually become citizens and be able to vote, right? And as Joe Rogan brought up in this conversation, he says, well, yeah, if you import 75,000 illegals into some small red county. Okay, well, what does that do when you eventually allow those people to vote? What does that do? Well, it gives them more power and control, right? It gives Democrats more power and control because a lot of those illegals are going to end up voting Democrat. Now, some of them won't, right? Because some of them are fleeing communism, right? So a lot of them are just thankful to be here, and some of them will end up voting Republicans because they're like, well, I don't really want to turn the United States into the country that I fled, but a lot of them will just vote Democrat because they're thankful that the Democrats let them into the country in the first place, okay? And Democrats like to give lip service to the illegals. So, yeah, they will support Democrats because they're thankful that Democrats allowed them to be here, right? So, you know, it's just funny that when presented with this, John Fetterman couldn't really refute any of the points that Joe Rogan had brought up. Now, I mean, here's the thing. It is John Fetterman, so John Fetterman, you know, he's dealing with his own issues mentally, cognitively. But let's be real. Could Kamala Harris had refuted anything that Joe Rogan said there? That segment is the exact reason why Kamala Harris avoided the Joe Rogan interview, right? That's why she decided to go out of her way not to do the interview, because she would not be able to have that conversation with Joe Rogan. She would not be able to use her talking points in order to get through that. She would actually have to sit down and have a real conversation and examine what's going on here and the incentive structure that Democrats have in place to allow unfettered illegal immigration. And that's not even mentioning the fact that illegal immigrants are seen as cheap labor by Democrats, right? The new slave labor class are the illegal immigrants. And that's also part of the reason why they want them here so much, because, again, according to Democrats, we need them to pick our cotton, okay? Democrats showed us once again that they're still the same Democrat Party of the 1800s, right? That was the party of slavery. Okay, they're still that party. So listen to their rhetoric on illegal immigration, and it tells you everything you need to know about whether or not they have evolved. No, they haven't evolved. They had just done a better job at hiding who they actually are. Okay, but they are the same party that they were back then. But again, what you just saw there is the exact reason why Kamala Harris tried to set all of these parameters around the interview so that she wouldn't have to deal with those type of questions. She would not have to have that conversation. So shout out to John Fetterman, who again is dealing with some issues upstairs, but at the same time, he still went on the platform to have that conversation, to do what Kamala Harris refused to do. And I got to tell you, I may disagree with John Fetterman politically, but I kind of respect the guy, right? In the sense that sometimes, you know, he makes sense. Okay, he makes sense. And
at least he had the balls to go on there. He's right about that.
New World, if you're in the market for
I don't want to hear him talk to me, these people. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, that speech was fucking terrible. Oh, this one was great. Check this out. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Have a good night, Jose. Well, this dude quit on the interview, or like on their little segment midway. So funny.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, so we've covered a whole lot of moments, let's call them, on this channel over the years, but I have to say, this might be the moment, the greatest moment in mainstream media history. We are reaching a boiling point, folks. It seems as though people have just had enough. They're fed up of the lies, the propaganda, the disinfo, and the frustration is starting to reach a peak. People are saying, you know what? Enough is enough. enough. Enough of the lies, enough of the propaganda and misinfo. And that, my friends, is exactly what happened in this clip right over here. We've got a top journalist at the Washington Post who straight up quits during a live stream as his colleagues essentially are acting as DNC surrogates. Let me tell you, it doesn't get better than this, folks. Let me show you guys exactly what happened, and of course, let's have a conversation. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, friends, so let's first play the clip and then, of course, get into the details. What the actual point of contention here is.
Is it me, or does it seem like this week Donald Trump is laying the groundwork for contesting the election by complaining that cheating was taking place in Pennsylvania by suing Bucks County for alleged irregularities? And this is on top of his continual assertion that if he loses, it's because of cheating.
Yeah, he's been laying the groundwork for this, just not in the last week, but in the last umpty-ump months. No election can be fair in Donald Trump's mind, unless Donald Trump wins it. And I think we are going to see him both rev up his supporters to contest elections outside of courtrooms and go to every courtroom he can in America where it's relevant to make whatever arguments he can, no matter how far-fetched. We saw
Jonathan, I've got to speak
last time, but it didn't work out this time.
Hugh.
It may not work. That may not happen this time. And now I'll let you go, Hugh.
Well, I've just got to say, we're news people, even though we're at the opinion section. It's got to be reported. Bucks County was reversed by the court and instructed to open up extra days because they violated the law and told people to go home. So that lawsuit was brought by the Republican National Committee, and it was successful. The Supreme Court ruled that Glenn Youngkin was successful. We are news people, even though we have opinions, and we have to report the whole story if we bring up part of the story. So yes, he's upset about Bucks County, but he was right, and he won in court. That's the story.
I'll let you keep going, Jonathan.
No, I don't appreciate being lectured about reporting when, Hugh, many times you come here saying lots of things that aren't.
I won't come back, Jonathan. I'm done. I'm done. This is the most unfair election ad I have ever been a part of. You guys are working. That's fine. I'm done.
It's so funny.
So, Ruth, you wrote a column this week ending with this line, and actually, I think this is perfect. We're going to put it on the screen. You wrote, "You want to know the stakes of this election? Not only democracy, but decency."
I never ate a tamale.
Talk more about that, Ruth.
What are they?
Okay, I'm collecting myself.
I know they're like peppers,
Ruth
right?
froze. Ruth is frozen. So hang in there, everyone. We're going to see if we can try to get Ruth back to this.
Watch.
We're going to get Ruth back in a moment.
We'll watch it again.
Donald Trump is laying the groundwork for contesting the election by complaining that cheating was taking place in Pennsylvania by suing Bucks County for alleged irregularities. And this is on top of his continual assertion that if he loses, it's because of cheating.
Yeah, he's been laying the groundwork for this, just not in the last week, but in the last umpty-ump months. No election can be fair in Donald Trump's mind, unless Donald Trump wins it. And I think we are going to see him both rev up his supporters to contest elections outside of courtrooms and go to every courtroom he can in America where it's relevant to make whatever arguments he can, no matter how far-fetched. We saw
Jonathan, I've got to speak
last time, but it didn't work out this time.
Hugh.
It may not work. That may not happen this time. And now I'll let you go, Hugh.
Well, I've just got to say, we're news people, even though we're at the opinion section. It's got to be reported. Bucks County was reversed by the court and instructed to open up extra days because they violated the law and told people to go home. So that lawsuit was brought by the Republican National Committee, and it was successful. The Supreme Court ruled that Glenn Youngkin was successful. We are news people, even though we have opinions, and we have to report the whole story if we bring up part of the story. So yes, he's upset about Bucks County, but he was right, and he won in court. That's the story.
Yeah. Smug, arrogant
I'll let you
maggot.
keep going, Jonathan.
No, I don't appreciate
Yeah, I'm
being
just
lectured
don't
about
appreciate.
reporting when many times you come here saying lots of things that aren't.
I won't
based
come
in
back,
fact.
Jonathan. I'm
But-
done.
but-
I'm done.
Okay,
This is
okay.
the most unfair election ad I have ever been a part of. You guys are working. That's fine. I'm done.
So, Ruth, you wrote a column this week ending with this line, and actually, I think this is perfect.
Hey, Mike,
We're going
I'm
to put it on
picky.
the screen. You wrote,
We'll see though.
you want to know the stakes of this election, not only democracy, but decency. Talk more about that, Ruth.
Okay, I'm collecting myself.
Oh, Ruth froze. Ruth is frozen.
He got up and dipped. You see
So
that? He said,
hang
"Fuck
in
these
there,
people."
everyone. We're going to see if we can try to get Ruth back to this very.
He's a dude.
We're gonna get Ruth back in a moment. This is First Look.
It's the Washington Post, though, so you shouldn't expect anything less.
Washington Post Live's nonstop shop for news and analysis, and Ruth is back. So I'm going to read that quote back again from your column, Ruth,
It's like a female.
where you wrote, "You want to know the stakes of this election, not only democracy but decency." We lost her again. Everybody, if you've been watching First Look, you know that these conversations can be interesting, contentious. You just saw Hugh Hewitt leave
straight like a woman.
the conversation, which is lamentable, unfortunate. It is what it is.
Now, firstly, before we get into anything else, we should probably react with a video meme here. This pretty much suffices and tells you exactly how I feel.
I'm proud of you, you know that. I hope you do.
I am so impressed with Hugh Hewitt. You know, I'm just gonna say it, might be a little bit crude, but it takes balls to do what this man did. And what it really feels like to me is we're really reaching a boiling point. People are just done with it all. It's so obvious what's going on. People are waking up. I mean, look at the last couple of weeks, this incessant, constant stream of lies and misrepresentations. All to whose benefit? Obviously to Kamala Harris's benefit and to the detriment of Donald Trump. It's obvious what's going on. It's obvious that these people are not journalists, but rather paid propagandists. They're shills. And who wants to work in an environment like that? At least who, in good faith, would want to be part of that? It's completely insane. I mean, let's get into the context a little bit so we can understand this man's frustration. Essentially, here's the story. There was a bunch of videos coming out of Bucks County in Pennsylvania.
I have a question. I have to bring someone here about 4 o'clock to vote. Are they gonna?
I'm going to ask you to talk to this.
Are they going to turn everyone down?
I'm going to ask you to talk to this gentleman because the voting is closed. Right
proud of
now.
me?
It's closed.
I just want you to talk to this gentleman.
We
I'm
have the
proud
right
of
to
you.
vote until 4:30.
I got you.
Why is it closed?
I don't know.
Okay. This process is very slow and grueling.
That doesn't matter if we're online.
Very slow and grueling.
It doesn't matter if we're online by 4:30. We have the right to
The reason why
vote.
it had to close was because a high volume of people wanted to do this. Slow and grueling.
Well, then they
So
have to wait till everyone's.
They had to cut the line at 1:45.
They cut the line at 1:45.
1:45.
You hear that, everyone? They cut the line at 1:45. See that, everyone? They cut the line, even though we have till 4:30.
Essentially, there was a couple of videos suggesting that people were getting kicked out of the line, not because they arrived too late after 5 p.m., but being kicked out around 1:45 p.m., well before the deadline, and so the RNC decided to file suit.
Now, I know that a lot of you today have seen these videos of people being turned away at the polls in places like Delaware County and Bucks County. And last night,
all right, so listen up. State Farm was trying to charge me $197 for car insurance. No, thank you.
we even saw one of our great local leaders, Val Biancaniello, arrested at the polls for telling people to stay in line. All she was doing was telling folks, stay and vote. They took her away in handcuffs.
That's pathetic.
Folks, Folks, here's what's happening. Democrat election officials are seeing our numbers. They're seeing our turnout.
Yes. This was just like a couple days ago.
They are seeing...
No, this was just a few days ago.
Seeing us breaking early vote records across Pennsylvania. They are terrified and they want to stop our momentum. We are not going to let them suppress our votes. We are going to fight.
Yeah.
I'm proud tonight to tell you that the Trump-Vance campaign has just filed a huge lawsuit against Bucks County for turning away our voters.
Yeah, it was just 4 days ago.
And essentially, the suit alleged that voters who were in line by the 5 p.m. deadline to apply in person for mail-in ballots were improperly turned away, thereby violating their voter rights. And then in response to the lawsuit, Judge Jeffrey Trauger of the Bucks County Court of Common Pleas ruled that the Board of Elections had violated the state's election code. The judge then extended the deadline for voters to apply for and receive mail-in ballots until 5 p.m. on Friday, November 1st, 2020.
You see that shirt? It says, "But can you shoot, though?"
24, and so that's pretty much the gist of it. But Jonathan Capehart and his fake news colleague decided, rather than reporting on what actually happened, which was the Trump campaign and the RNC winning a lawsuit because people were being improperly turned away, they're gonna drum up this narrative that Donald Trump is claiming that there's all kinds of cheating and he's trying to fight in court. To be honest, I don't even really know what they were getting into, but obviously they weren't reporting on the actual facts of what had happened in Bucks County. And Hugh Hewitt said, "I'm not gonna be a part of a DNC ad," because that's essentially what it was, propagandizing the news, the current events of the day. And Hugh Hewitt's decision to stand up not just for himself, but for the integrity of journalism, in my view, highlights a rare moment of courage in an industry that is so infested with left-wing groupthink that it hardly feels surprising anymore. Every American should be enraged by the state of the media today. Journalists are not only showing open disdain for conservative perspectives, but are actively sabotaging honest reporting on critical stories, like this one unfolding in Bucks County, for instance. Hewitt's frustration isn't just about one misleading headline, it's about a system that has been irredeemably corrupted by a one-sided agenda. I mean, it's no secret. The overwhelming majority of journalists in the mainstream newsrooms are Democrats, and they often operate under a smug facade of neutrality. Ooh, CNN, the most trusted name in news. Yet instead of allowing open discourse or reporting on the actual facts with even an ounce of fairness, they're more likely to be found parroting the same recycled talking points. They're essentially campaigning for the DNC. Isn't it obvious? I mean, almost every major news outlet is endorsing Kamala Harris without hesitation. This is propaganda. There's a propaganda problem in the United States of America. The same message repeated across every screen, every paper, and every radio frequency, and when dissent arises, it's dismissed or misrepresented, or in Hewitt's case, mocked until the dissenter has had enough. It's getting to a point where people just can't take it anymore, and who can blame them? If you have even an ounce of intellectual integrity and honesty, it's impossible to watch the mainstream news. You turn it on and it's the most frustrating experience that you could possibly imagine. Trust me, I do it all the time. Take an hour to sit down and watch Jake Tapper's show on CNN, and you're going to be trying hard not to pull the hair out of your scalp. And it's no wonder why conservative independent media is on such a rise. I mean, just take a look at this, for instance. This is old data from 2022. It's from an old website called Transparency Tube, but you'll see here's the partisan right and here's the partisan left. What do you notice? The partisan right is essentially Fox News and a bunch of independent sources. Meanwhile, the left is all mainstream left-wing sources, almost entirely, and those who aren't are some way tangentially connected to left-wing media advocacy groups and left-wing networks, like Brian Tyler Cohen, for instance. I mean, it's no wonder why that is. If you want to work in mainstream journalism, you have to be a Democrat. It's pretty much the only way, unless you're some sort of seasoned veteran or you're part of one of the odd outlets like the New York Post or Fox News that represent the other side. The simple fact is conservative views are not accepted in the mainstream media, and so what did people have to do? They had to go and make their own networks or start their own shows on YouTube, like Ben Shapiro and Tim Pool are doing. You know, we just don't really really see independent media on the left. We see establishment powerhouses with one goal: to perpetuate a liberal agenda under the guise of progress and justice. Meanwhile, those of us who dare to challenge their narratives are forced to fight for every inch of airtime, or forced to fight to even exist on alternative platforms, as the mainstream authoritative sources label us as radicals just for challenging their status quo. Simple fact is, American media institutions have been totally taken over by the left, and they simply just aren't reporting news anymore. They're propaganda outlets trying to get Kamala Harris elected. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching.
What he said is 1000% true.
What she saying? Come on, tell me what she saying. Huh? She'll leave you in suspense because she ain't making no sense. What she saying?
Even the Democrat rabble can't understand her babble. In the final days of the presidential race, Harris is making less and less sense. Here she is in Reno yesterday.
We're here because we're fighting for a democracy. Fighting for a democracy. And understand the difference here. Understand the difference here. Moving forward. Moving forward. Understand the difference here. What we are looking at is a difference in this election. Let's move forward and see where we are.
Moving forward, she couldn't move forward from that sentence. My IQ moved backward. Pay extra close attention to the end of this next clip.
Democracy can be complicated, but we believe in democracy and the right of everyone to have their voices heard. It's all right. And I have fought for many who have harmed other human beings.
Tyrus, she's fought for many who have harmed other human beings. You know, finally, she spoke the truth.
I'll take it if you need. Kat, there's worse things that you can say to people.
Yeah.
But I help people who harm people. God bless, good night, that's my time. That's what...
I think it's an excellent thing to acknowledge to a therapist.
Yes.
Right.
You know what happened?
Definitely worth exploring.
You know what happened, Greg? The teleprompter went up and they cheered too long.
Yeah.
And she panicked because all she could remember, she couldn't remember the connection word. So she panicked. This ain't close, I'm telling you.
I think he still wrestles
what do you think
sometimes.
she meant?
I think it was the most accurate and succinct statement she has issued all campaign. Hear me out. She has fought extremely hard to help the illegal migrants who have harmed American human beings. She has fought extremely hard to help the rioters in cities like Minneapolis and cities throughout our great land that have harmed American human beings. And she has fought very hard to put
what does
boys
that mean?
into girls' sports to harm American human being girls. Kamala, 2024.
Charlie, can you top that raging piece of red meat?
I don't think I can top that. That was impressive. But I will say that it makes sense that she picked Tim Walz because he wants to befriend school shooters. So the two of them go quite well together. I can just imagine, though, like looking far down the line into the future, 500 years, you have historians that are really trying to put their heads together, decipher what the hell this woman was trying to say. And it's just the greatest mystery in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to be able to come up with an answer, and there's no chance we're coming up with an answer here, but it's very entertaining. I'm here for the vibes, if you will.
Yeah.
Who knew Joe Biden was a clearer speaker?
Yeah. Kat, what do you say? Is this over?
No, I think, again, it's important that she realizes that. That's the first step. But I think that she should talk to a mental health professional, explore that. You can, you know, rather than telling the electorate.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest.
I don't know what she's.
There's one more
he said
thing
some crazy
Trump and his
shit.
Republican friends want to do. They want another giant tax cut for the wealthy.
Listen.
Now, I know some of you guys are tempted to think it's macho guys. I'll tell you what, man. When I was in Scranton, we used to have a little trouble going down the plot once in a while from Greenwich. But I'm serious. These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass.
Oh my God. What is fucking wrong with him? Oh my God.
By the way, I'm serious. Think about it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
I'm making it short out of that one.
There's one more thing Trump and his Republican friends want to do. They want another giant tax cut for the wealthy. Now, I know some of you guys are tempted to think it's macho guys. I'll tell you what, man. When I was in Scranton, we used to have a little trouble going down the plot once in a while from Greenwich. But I'm serious. These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass. By the way, I'm serious. Think about it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.
Not down. Oh, it's a little different now. Bro, that is fucking hilarious, Will.
Cox Business Fiber Internet delivers upload speeds just as fast as your download speeds. For just $50 a month, get Cox Business.
Did we cry or laugh at Biden's latest gaffe? Speaking to Latinos virtually last night, Biden referenced a Puerto Rico joke that was told at Trump's Madison Square Garden rally. And in doing so, old Joe trashed half of America. Watch.
The Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Yeah, you heard it right, folks. The only garbage Joe sees floating out there are Donald Trump's supporters, and leave it to the media to clean up this mess and blame it on a misplaced apostrophe.
There's one more.
As someone who had a stutter growing up, it's very obvious to me that there's an apostrophe at the end of supporters there. He was referring to the garbage spewed by supporters, not simply the supporters themselves.
The White House is saying, no, there's an apostrophe there. He's talking about his supporter, meaning the comedian. It's certainly a story on the right who are trying to paint this to be the next basket of deplorables.
They're trying to make a firestorm out of something. Joe Biden obviously doesn't believe that.
It's a good thing the American people trust the media so much. Otherwise, this would be a total waste of time. We wanted to give the president a chance to clarify his comments. No. Look.
I didn't say garbage. I said it. I said it. I didn't mean it. I meant it. I meant it.
I meant
it. I like
Good night,
garbage.
Kalisha. I'm going to bed in a minute as
I
well.
like the way it looks. I like the way it smells. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. It smells better than a 12-year-old's head.
That's so funny. Yeah, chat. I'm going to end it as well. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out tonight. We'll see you guys later. Peace.